The name 50 Cent is a metaphor for change.
When you're in my situation, there's no plan B. You know, it's music or we sell crack.
I came in the rap humble. I don't give a fuck now. I serve anybody like niggas who hustle uptown.
You better recognize, nigga, I'm straight from the street. These industry niggas is starting to look like something to eat.
This is the nigga that Ja Rule's coming at right here. That's his man right here.
Now,
Get out the club, bitch.
In my hood, they let the chopper spray. Somebody probably got shot today. I gave you a style, Gucci this, Fendi that. Yeah. Burberry bag, shoes in the hat to match.
I stay with my gang in case I gotta pop somebody.
50 Cent and the G-Unit!
I put a hole in a nigga for fucking with me.
what's mine's is mine's. What's yours is mine's.
Damn, baby, all I need is a little bit. I wanna live good, so shit, I sell dope for a 4-finger ring. I put Lamborghini doors on that Escalade.
50 Cent and G-Unit stated that the game was no longer part of G-Unit.
You would come take one of my awards, I got black as I. In front of everybody.
I'm a soldier boy, I got no choice but to be a rider.
Do you think about me?
Me, I keep my gun around, it's never on safety.
We made this run. I gave this territory to Ghost and the Tommy, and they gave it to you. The shit is alone.
What's up? Oh! What's up? G-Unit, whoa! We in here, whoa! We can get the drama poppin', nigga. Boom, boom, boom! 50 Cent, you know how I get down. What up, blood? What up, cuz? What?
50 Cent was born Curtis James Jackson III on July 6, 1975 in Jamaica, Queens. His mother Sabrina was just 15 when she had him, and he never knew his pops.
I asked my mother one time, we was in the park. I saw a little boy throwing the football back and forth with his father. And I said, well, I don't got no father, Mom. And she said, because you was special. He was born to the Immaculate Conception.
Sabrina moved out of the crib after Curtis was born, and he was raised by his grandparents. His mom wasn't around much because she was out here drug dealing in the streets. Southside Jamaica, Queens back then was one of the roughest neighborhoods in New York. When Curtis was just 8 years old, his aunt and his grandfather went into Sabrina's crib because they noticed something was off, and they ended up just seeing her laying there, dead.
Somebody put something in a drink, and then they turned the gas on. She spent a few days in the space that she was in after she passed away, so her body was all decomposed by the time they got to it.
By the time he was 11, he started to learn how to box, and he saw all the drug dealers outside, the flashy clothes, the nice cars, nice jewelry, so he idolized that and wanted to emulate them. So from 3 to 6 p.m. while his grandparents thinking he's in after school, he was really on the streets hustling selling crack. And when he was 14, he got arrested for bringing drugs into school. And at 17, he was busted again. When the cops searched his crib, they found heroin, coke, and $15,000 in cash. The charges could have sent him to prison for 9 years, but as a teen facing his first felony, he was offered a different route, 6 months in a military-style boot camp. When he got out, he went right back into the streets, but he then made a decision that would change his life forever. Then one day in 1996, he had a chance meeting with Run DMC's Jam Master Jay at a nightclub. He faked it till he maked it and said, yeah, I know how to rap. He made a rough demo track for him. What Jay heard was raw, but very real. He saw that he had hella potential, and he signed him to his label, Jam Master Jay Records. Now at 21, he got himself a deal. He wanted a new identity though, so he came up with the name 50 Cent, which 50 describes it as a metaphor for change, and he would do things his way.
For me, 50 Cent was a metaphor for change, and then I would do things my way, which would be drastically different.
Also inspired by the Brooklyn dealer Kelvin Martin, who was known as the original 50 Cent. He would eventually have his own kid too at the age of 22. So now he gotta do what he gotta do to provide for that kid and give him the life that he never had, to have a dad. 2 years later, his career progress was kinda slow, and he was getting mad that Jam Master Jay wasn't giving him his undivided attention. So one day he saw record executive Corey Rooney outside of a barbershop in Queens. He found his opportunity.
He comes over to the car, he had like his hood on, and looked sketchy. At that point, I didn't know he was gonna rob me.
I gave him my tape and put it in, playing it, and the phone rang and he was on the telephone.
I'm like, Yeah, go ahead. And he gave me the look because I wasn't paying attention.
Like, give me my tape, man. You're mad old school. He looked at me like, what's the matter with him?
He doesn't realize I can multitask, so I heard everything he did. This was far beyond, oh, this guy is good. I thought, wow, this is the next Jay-Z.
He then got signed to Columbia Records, but most of his advance money went to pay his way out of the J contract. Broke, he then went back to drug dealing, and in the matter of just 2 weeks, he would go and create his classic debut mixtape, Power of a Dollar.
It's the money that makes shit get ugly. It's the money that make these hoes love me.
How you gonna take this like a man or a bitch? You gonna get it on, nigga, or you gonna snitch? Yo,
Get caught talking the popo.
what you say to him, son?
Then get hit with the fofo.
Rule number 3, if you get knocked, play games to say names. 4-5, I tear you out the frame.
Supreme was the businessman and Prince was the killer. Remember? He used to push the bulletproof BM,
What nigga just sold? Like 4 milli? Got something to live for. Don't want a nigga putting fold through that Bentley coupe dope.
And many other rappers that he name dropped, including Jay-Z, who even clapped back at 50 on a song.
Go against Jigga, your ass is dense. I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 cents?
Yo, How to Rob to this day, is still one of the hardest songs 50 ever dropped, bruh. It's just so aggressive and a knock down the door into the industry. One cool fact though that I gotta mention, in 1999 when Nas was dropping his album Nostradamus, he went on a tour promo run, and he actually brought 50 on tour with him and Tony Yayo, being one of, if not the first rapper to truly embrace 50 and do him a favor like that. Cause at this point, all 50 really had was How to Rob. Eventually they would get into a little beef, but I'll explain that later. So now he's starting to get known. He was making enemies for sure, but none other than another Queens rapper who was already popping at the time, Ja Rule. In fact, one of 50's homies robbed Ja for his chain, and the energy changed between the two parties ever since. And 50 put the feud on fire with the track Your Life's on the Line. To really talk about how all this started, we gotta talk about what was really going on in the streets of Queens at the time. So there was a gang that ran the streets of Jamaica, Queens from the 80s till 2001. Called the Supreme Team. If you haven't heard of them at all, well, I highly suggest you watch the Showtime 3-part documentary series that Nas directed actually. It's pretty incredible the amount of detail that went into that. But basically, well, not basically, they were an organized crime syndicate is what the internet calls them. But yeah, they were a gang that operated through the streets of Jamaica during that time. The leaders were Kenneth Supreme McGriff and his nephew Gerald Prince Miller. Now what does any of this have to do with 50 Cent? Well, Supreme pleaded guilty in the late 80s to engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise. He was released on parole in 1994, but all of the money he made from drug trafficking was taken away. He did a lot of thinking while alone in jail, so he realized that the drug game was just a dead end. He had a vision of wanting to go legit and wanted to make money legally while getting into the entertainment industry. His life changed when he became part of the label Murder Inc., which would eventually become 50's biggest enemy. Supreme first met Ja Rule and his boss Irv Gotti at the music video shoot Get the Fortune. Back when Ja was still part of the group Cash Money clique and was still trying to hit the mainstream, Preem was doing everything he could to be a real businessman, and he quickly became part of the Murder Inc. family. He had Irv and Ja under his wing, giving them protection and safety, while giving Irv and Ja that street cred, since no one wanted to mess with the Preem team. So in 1999, Ja Rule was robbed for his chain at gunpoint by a dude named Troy, who accused Ja of sleeping with his girl while he was in jail. He ended up calling Preem for help, who then promised to handle it. Ja then shot a music video for the song Murder for Life on Jamaica Ave, and 50 decided to pull up since they're from the same hood. The same day they went to a party at a club and the two met again this time, but 50 was with Troy, the dude who took Ja's chain.
A friend of mine's robbed Ja Rule, and I'm in a club and I see the nigga, I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm chilling. He see me kicking it with the nigga that robbed him, and he feel like, oh shit, I shouldn't speak to this dude because I know the kid robbed him, but I know this kid, I grew up with him. I'll tell you personally, the Murder Inc., the people that you see like Irv, Ja, the people that are involved in the business aspect are bitches. Like, these niggas don't got no hood in them.
Ja started acting up once he saw Troy and 50 laughing together, so 50 allegedly got tight for getting brushed off by the whole Murder Inc. crew. According to the Gotti brothers, 50's hatred came from jealousy, seeing how Ja and them got all the love from the hood. 50 then had a convo with Preem asking for advice and what he should do against Ja, and Preem responded with,
his idea is yo, leave them alone. They our food.
50 agreed, but he ended up dropping a diss record called Your Life's on the Line, like I said earlier, containing all kinds of vulgar, direct lines towards 50 clearly took this beef with Ja very serious. He felt like Ja was just some studio gangster and needed to hang around real thugs for people to believe the lifestyle he was trying to live. In the beginning of 2000, Ja and 50 were both booked to perform at the same place, the Swiss Hotel in Atlanta. 50's manager at the time and founder of Black Hand Entertainment, Chaz Slim Williams, spoke to Ja Rule and told him to speak with 50 and settle all of this and make peace. So then he went back to 50 and told him the same thing, like, yo, ain't you supposed to go speak with Ja? But Slim said he seemed to be reluctant about it and didn't really want to do it. He told 50 you might as well get it over with now. So then 50 said alright, and when he went to pull Ja to the side away from the guys, Ja walked towards 50 with a bat in his hand. And as Ja was talking, he was making gestures with the bat in his hand. And he was raising his voice, so 50 swung on him.
Ja Rule, I was black already. His shit was like this. 50 caught him already. His shit was like this already, nigga. Like this, right here. You see? Look, camera got it? You got it, Kim? You got my man from overseas? That shit was like this. 50 a boxer caught Ja Rule already.
Ja Rule was fighting back and put 50's shirt over his face, started hitting him. 50 managed to snatch Ja Rule's chain though, and ran to the elevator with his homies.
And then I guess the chain pop, he snuffed him and, you know, Southside nigga. And had the chain. Go in the hotel, he showed me the chain. Marquise had it, everybody, his son had it, everybody.
Ja Rule's chain.
Yeah, it was just getting passed around in the hood.
Okay.
Yo, honestly, I wish there was footage of all of this, but it does give it that old school mysterious feel to it, kind of like a hood legend. Cause back then cameras weren't really a thing, you know? He then went and recorded the music video for Your Life's on the Line, wearing Ja Rule's. Supreme then approached 50, and 50 gave him his side of the story, saying he was jumped. Preem understood the situation, but still wanted Ja's chain back. 50 still respected Preem at the time, so he gave him his chain back, but he did get a gold watch in return. Which, funny story about that, Tony Yayo said it was a Movado watch he had that someone robbed him for while he was on the Nostradamus tour. 3 years later, 50 mentions this in the song Back Down. Chaz Slim Williams, who I said was 50 Cent's manager at the time, and Preem tried arranging a meeting between Ja and 50 to try and get the beef squashed. 50 showed up, but he refused to sit down with them though, because he felt like it was gonna get physical again. He probably felt like he was gonna be the only one getting the criticism, because he was the one who was really being the one nagging on this beef, and being upset that he wasn't getting the recognition that he felt like he deserved. He was kind of a problem child, and 50 didn't have a career yet at that point, while Ja was out here being successful as hell already. Chaz didn't like that 50 didn't come to the meeting, so he told 50 you're on your own now. Which 50 even talked about this on the song Many Men years later.
Slim switch sides on me, let niggas ride on me. I thought we was cool, why you want me to die, homie?
The next big incident that would take place was the stabbing at the Hit Factory recording studio in March of 2000. Ja Rule and 50 were in the same building at the same time, and when Ja found out he was in the building, he was like,
Hell no!
We walk into the studio, we hear Rule going crazy, he's yelling and screaming, and what's happened, what happened? And mind you, we have about 40, 50 guys with us in the studio. We had the big room, the number one room is in the Hit Factory, huge room. Rule's like, he's here. Rule had crutches. He was on MTV. I think he did something on jet skis and messed his ankle up. So he had crutches. His ankle's messed up. And he's like, who's here? He's like, 50. He's here. He's in the building. He's like, and I want to get him. Let's get him now. This is Rule. The end of the day, we're sitting there. I'm trying to keep, Irv is doing the talking with Rule, and he's trying to keep a level head with Rule. Like, what are you worried about? Let's do what we do. Fuck that. And then it hit him like he asked Irv a question. The question was, you not riding with me? And you riding with me? You ain't riding with me? Yeah. And that's when all I seen Irv do was unbuckle his watch. I knew what that was, so that was it. And then we went looking for him in the studio.
There was a stabbing that took place to 50 Cent at the studio where all hell broke loose. And the man that did that was a rapper named Black Child. There's all kinds of different perspectives of this story. I'm gonna let Black Child say his part, then I'll let Tony Yayo say his part.
I don't really remember who was there, my memory is kind of fucked up. I smoke a lot of weed. I smoke a lot of weed. It was me and a few other people. I don't even remember who was with me. It was Beef, Beef is when you see a nigga in this fucking studio or wherever, and the nigga want to talk, and niggas was like, nah, ain't nothing to talk about, right? There's like 5 of us and 5 of them, and niggas is getting it on and fighting and bond some way, somehow. The lights got hit off, and niggas was getting it on in the dark. It wasn't like nobody hit the snitch like niggas is gangster and niggas hit the switch. Know what I mean? the fucking not see nothing. It's just in the mix of it being so crowded and niggas beefing. Somebody bumped into the light switch and it got dark. That's what happened, son. Know what I mean? Because it was like 10 niggas getting it on in the dark. One of the niggas with 50, like, yo, where the gat at? What? I just start hitting niggas, vom. Because I first thing kicked in my mind, if niggas get to the gat, one of us is dead. But I felt the gat was in the area and niggas was reaching for it. Know what I mean? And I wasn't letting nobody get to their gun to pop me. Know what I mean? So I started poking niggas straight up and down. And that's the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Niggas had a 45, I swear to God, with no safety. If that shit was in the room, it would be a whole different scenario. Y'all don't understand how real it is. Ja Rule and them niggas would have been dead. Cause somebody, either me or 50 gonna squeeze. You come running in the studio like that, we gonna squeeze. So they had God on their side. But we would have caught a body and niggas would have been in jail, bro. Either me and 50 would have been in jail. I swear on my dead father. Ja Rule would have been dead. Chris Gotti, all them niggas that ran in there, they would have been dead. Cause we here, the gun was right next door, like right where the couch is at, where you at. And it wouldn't have been no 50 Cent story.
Yeah, I mean, luckily they didn't.
It would have been Ja Rule got killed. They had like bitch niggas. They had like kitchen utensils. They had like motherfucking crutches and shit.
50 got stabbed that day, right? He didn't get stabbed, right?
Shut the fuck up with that shit.
Okay. He got
cut? Motherfucker had a scratch.
He got cut a little.
You want to see what I got? You look on my finger right here. If you look on my finger, I got cut right there. Just look bad because it was sliced and meat was hanging. No homo.
That was from that night?
So, look. Yeah, that was from that night. And this right here. And on the knuckle right there. 50 had a scratch.
Yo, boy, the way Yayo tells his stories are straight comedy, fam. Murder Inc. ended up paying $250,000 in hospital fees to those that were injured in the crew. 50 then filed a restraining order on the Gotti brothers. Irv and Chris both got arrested for the attack, but got out because 50 didn't show up to court. Now, out of nowhere, the song Ghetto Quran got leaked online. And boy, oh boy, man, did this song cause some problems.
Team, see niggas feared Prince and respected Preem. For all you slow motherfuckers, I'ma break it down iller. See, Preem was the businessman and Prince was the killer. Remember? He used to push the bulletproof BM, His head get you seasick. I sat back and peeped shit. They roll with easy water then. They ain't get blunted. Had the whole projects working for 50 or 500 as a youth. All I ever did was sell crack. I used to idolize Cat. Hurt me to my heart to hear that nigga snitched on Pat. How he go out like that? Rumors in the hood was just for snitching. I ain't believe that, Pa. He helped me cop my first GSXR, had the 4 and the Z, the 5 and the 3. Used to drive his truck through the hood, dragging jet skis from Joe Wallace to Baby Wise. Don't be surprised at how freely I thought our names of guys who dealt with pies. L got shot in the neck, then told us connect. Them niggas who shot him got us for 10 bricks. Fucking Dominicans turned around and gave him more bricks. Rest in peace to Rich and Ron. Money what they was about, yo. The twins was from Queens, but got crazy cream without pole. Throughout my time I heard tales of Jaime, Frenchie, Jamaican Paulie, Ducky Corley, Rodney bumping chick shit. A lot of niggas flow the way I flow, but ain't been in the game all that life, so don't know who I know. On the strength, y'all niggas don't want it with me. Y'all deal with fantasy, I deal with reality on the strength.
To 50, he was just paying homage to street legends and some of his idols, but Preem and them took it way differently, saying he was working with the feds and violating the code of the streets. And the police were really dissecting this track and asking 50 if he could elaborate more about his lyrics. And 50 was just like, listen to the song. Preem took that differently and felt like 50 was just telling him to use his lyrics as evidence. So at this point, Preem was starting to feel a type of way. He kept telling 50 to leave Ja and Murder Inc. alone, but instead 50 takes the chain and poses it in his music videos to now airing out dirty laundry is what Preem thinks. And that song Ghetto Quran was actually getting DJs beat up in the club, bruh, if they ever played that record. And at this point, every time Preem and Murder Inc. looked a certain way, 50 was out here mimicking them and calling them studio gangsters and whatnot. So Preem was starting to get worried that 50 was gonna mess up Ja Rule's career and ruin the bag for everybody in their camp, including him. So 50 was becoming a real threat. So Preem ended up putting out a hit on 50 and 3 other dudes. But for the purpose of this video, we'll focus on 50. The day is May 24th, 2000, around 12 p.m. His grandma was in the front of his house in Jamaica, and 50's kid was inside too. She was bent over planting flowers in the garden, and he walked outside to get in the vehicle where his friend was waiting for him. A car pulled up on the side of them, and a guy came out the passenger seat of that car, came around behind it, and shot through the actual car. All shots fired at close range.
I got shot right here, right? I was sitting in the car. The nigga was waiting. He was double parked. He was waiting on me, right? They like came up and put on the side, like right here. Nigga was real, like a real sneaky ass nigga, because he came around the back of the car. So like he like this. And broke shit, fell out the back. I'm like, yo, fuck up, nigga. He froze up, nigga. Nas said, how the fuck you ain't pull up? I'm jumping around the back of the motherfucking car and shit, you know what I mean? Because nigga followed like, what the fuck you gonna do?
While getting shot, 50 reached for his gun, but it wasn't cocked. When he put his gun out the window, the guy shot his hand.
When I put the gun out the actual window, he shot down at my hand and moved away. So I got hit my thumb and came out the top of my pinky. That's why I ain't got no knuckle on my right hand.
Blood gushed all over the back seat. His friend drove straight to the hospital, stopping only to drop the gun in a sewer. While at the hospital, he had tubes all over his body. His tongue had swollen so much that he was almost suffocating himself. The doctors were willing to do a surgery where he may never speak again. 50 survived the operation while being in critical care for 13 days, and now the healing process begins. Now he has crutches and a wired shut mouth, which took about 5 months to heal. There was speculation on the streets as to who did this. Come to find out, it was a man by the nickname Hamo who was paid to do it. He was actually one of Mike Tyson's best friends and his bodyguard. 3 weeks later though, he was actually shot in the back of the head and died by a man named Damian Hardy, who was once engaged to Lil Kim.
Well, the nigga that shot me dead. What you want me to do? You know, the nigga that sent him to shoot me in jail. He got life.
50 mentions this situation years later on the classic song Many Men. Hamo shot me, 3 weeks later he got shot down. Now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason, cause he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing. Crazy thing is though, 50 and his label Columbia Records were gearing up to drop the music video for his first big radio hit called Thug Love with Destiny's Child.
Look, we can shop together, mama, his and hers. Fifth ass shit, baby, Fendi first.
The shooting happened just 3 days before the video was scheduled. Yeah, after this, Columbia said, and it never happened. In fact, the label was actually scared of this whole situation. He actually signed a publishing deal with them as he was hospitalized, but he was quickly dropped from the label after they were like, nah, this is too risky, since they speculated that the song Ghetto Quran was allegedly the reason for the shooting. He couldn't even get them to answer the phone. He approached a bunch of other labels, but found no takers, meeting with executives who were legit shaking while speaking to 50 and his crew. They had bulletproof vests on, a gun that was already cocked. P. Diddy was actually the first person to call 50 to get back to work and be a songwriter. 50 was in his office, heard an altercation outside, and 50 had paranoia. Whenever something didn't feel right, he was pulling that gun out because he was not trying to get shot again. Diddy saw this when he walked in and was like, yeah, nah, I don't need this in my life right now. Now 50 was blackballed from the entire industry, unable to work in a United States recording studio, so he went to Canada. 50's hustle at this point was at an all-time high, bruh. He was like, alright, y'all not gonna work with me? Okay, now it's time to drop these mixtapes. And boy did he have the mixtape game on lock, recording a bunch of songs to build up his reputation and to finally get that deal from someone. 50's first mixtape would drop on April 23rd, 2002, called Guess Who's Back.
It's best you be a gentleman and you watch what you say. I'm on parole, I used to be on probation. I with my gun, I get full cooperation. Yo, black is flashy like Alpo, gun happy like Pappy. Sneaky motherfucker, mommy, a nigga that clap me.
In fact, Nas back in '96 formed a group called The Firm, and 50 was initially considered a slot in the crew, along with Mary J. Blige. It just didn't end up working out. Who knows how this could have turned out had 50 been a real part of this, cause the clique only lasted like 4 or 5 years, and they only made one album together. Although Nas and a Firm member, Nature, did a song together for this mixtape called Too Hot, which is fire by the way.
You could be a rider and ride, or a coward and hide. Either way you go against me, you still gon' die.
Soon after this mixtape dropped, 50 Cent was discovered by none other than Eminem, who listened to a copy of this tape through 50 Cent's attorney, who was working with Eminem's manager, Paul Rosenberg.
Yeah, that's right. You got the camera on, you got the camera on. When he decides he's not gonna do it no more, you know, you figure out who's gonna be number one, huh? All right, number two now, until he's tired.
Gotta ask, how in the hell did this whole collaboration come about? You and Eminem, talk to me.
I don't know, I'm just blessed, you know? My situations just fall into place. You know, the same way the trouble just come to me sometimes, some good things just come to me.
Nah, but 50, not for real. We gotta keep it real though. You had a record out, and then for a while, you know, it was like, what's up with 50? And then next thing you submerge, and it's like you with M. So like, how did the introduction take place? How did that whole thing just happen?
You know, I work the streets in the city, you know what I mean? Clue, you know, it's a lot of big DJs out there in the street that you gotta get in touch with.
Right.
50's had a lot of stuff out.
Right.
You know, and just been making noise. And I heard about 50 a couple years ago and just basically been following through the whole thing. And I'm just now in the position where I can start signing my own groups and signing my own acts and stuff like that. So,
and would eventually get him a deal with Interscope.
It was like every single song that came on ended up becoming like one of my favorite songs. I felt like 50 was gonna be gigantic. Within them couple of days, I had brought him to Dre and was like, yo, you need to hear 50. I played him one record and he was like, let's do it.
He called me and it wasn't even like business hours. It was like fly out in the middle of the night and I just said, all right, I'm going.
I remember when he walked in, I was excited to meet him and was like, homie, I'm a fan. And I just started like, I think I started like blurting out songs and lyrics and pretty much knew him by heart, you know, and was like kind of on some fan.
He was so excited, he made me nervous. Like, he was like, yo, I'm telling you, this is it, this and that. And I was like, yo.
He didn't really say too much and I was kind of wondering like, does this guy like me?
At this point, Yayo and 50 were already tight since '98, but Lloyd Banks came into the picture a little later. They all knew each other already, especially Yayo and Banks, and 50 used to see Banks rapping by the barbershops at a young age at like 13, 14 years old, but didn't really pay him no mind. Mind you, 50 was like 20, 21 at this point, but eventually some years go by, and Yayo would tell 50 like, yo, you gotta work with this dude. Lloyd Banks is the truth, and through some conversations, that's really all it took for Banks to lock in the studio with them. And now with the release of their first mixtape, 50 Cent is the Future, the streets was put onto a new group, Guerrilla Unit, aka G-Unit.
Look, I done changed up, bitch, I done came up. My neck, my wrist, my ears, my fists all blamed up.
Mad cause I'm false and bad, I ain't a wrestler, but I put your bitch in the Boston Crab. I talk money cause it costs the brand.
R.I.P. to Ethel, I miss Evo. When I die, I hope heaven look like the ghetto. Picture me trick and take a loss. I'm cheap like the Chinese man with duck sauce.
But how did G-Unit even come about in the first place? Well, we gotta talk about a dude by the name of Bang'em Smurf, who was originally part of the crew and was 50's right-hand man back then. At first, G-Unit was really just a gang. After 50 was shot, he set up a meeting in the Poconos, which is where he was staying at to recover after he was shot. 50 invited Smurf for the meeting, and 50 was saying how he about to come back crazy with the music, but he needed some real people around him. 50 mentioned Smurf in his mixtapes in 2002, and you would hear Smurf throughout the mixtapes talking a lot of shit.
G-Unit. I done started my own gang. I don't do that funny dance. I don't do gang signs. And I'm a gangster to the core, so I stay with a 9. You think all I do is rap, then you don't know me good. Have Smurf hanging out the sunroof to light up your hood.
Word of my mother, 50 cents. G-Unit, we about to go gorilla this industry, man. Y'all better know. Y'all better fail. Word of my mother, y'all just wanna do 1 through 4, G-Unit, 50 Cent, Tony Yayo, Lloyd Banks.
After 50 was signed, Smurf was still around him, even at his Get Rich or Die Trying photo shoot and the In the Club music video. Things were just fine between the two, but that wasn't until Smurf got locked up and his bail was set at $75,000. According to one of Smurf's boys, while he was locked up, he tried calling 50 to bail him out, but 50 kept saying no. This made them all sour and was confused as to why the hell he wasn't helping Smurf out.
So when he got locked up, his bail was $75,000. Now at this point, Get Rich or Die Trying did like $8 million. So, you know, 50 had that money to wipe his ass with. So we just keep calling him, man. We just getting the same answer. So we like, hold on, this went and did things for you behind you getting shot. My man was the one that retaliated, you know? You didn't go out and grab your gun. You didn't go and say, oh, these shot me, I'm about to go find them. My was in the car riding around. You know what I'm saying? A lot of from the hood was riding around to take care of that beef for him. He wasn't grabbing no pistol. I feel he a bitch behind that because how you not gonna send money to somebody that did, You know what I'm saying? Took care of your business. That's your business. You got shot twice. Smurf didn't get shot. So finally, we get a bail bonds person that says they'll take the house. Smurf's mother's house had to be put up in order to get him out.
When Smurf was released, according to him, he called 50 to ask why no one came to help him out of jail. And according to him, he said that 50 started beefing right away, saying that he sent them back to the hood to get his mind right, and was tight that Smurf was getting in all these kinds of troubles, while 50 was trying to clean up his image being a rapper and an entrepreneur. And on August 13th, 2003, 50 would release a track called Sleep Remix, where he would take direct shots at Smurf.
Hey Smurf, don't think I don't hear you out there talking about me, you little dirtbag. Brush your teeth before you talk about me. Wash under your arms, you smell like Queensbridge. Yeah. Tell them niggas how I took that $325,000 back from you, nigga. I'm like God to you niggas. You know God give it, God take it away. I come back off tour, I'ma catch you, I'ma whoop the skin off your ass, nigga.
Smurf and his boy Domination will make a diss track going at 50.
Muscle head, hard body tissue, can't stop a pistol. Bet you drop and shrivel when them rockets hit you. Stupid, don't act brand new. You ran the Smurf, he ain't running you. You ain't a gangster with them homo ways. You still frontin' with a vest on stage. Come to the block and test your Glock another spot besides the firing range. You run with niggas that get shot, I'm with niggas that do the shooting. Banks, answer this, who did the clapping for you when them boys left you for dead? That night outside the Diamond Gym, 50 wasn't there. I know you don't rely on him. It's when Banks can't walk in the streets. 50 gotta stay inside that bulletproof Jeep. Ask Curtis how many niggas he shot. Then ask him when the last time he been on the block.
Don't think you safe cause you don't come through the hood. I got my shooters with me. Yeah, this motherfucking on, bastard. Coward ass nigga. Talking about I smell like Queensbridge, right? Alright, nigga. That shit was funny. They're looking for the promotion. Domination. Silverback gorillas, nigga.
Then comes the legendary Summer Jam 2004. When G-Unit was performing, Bang'em Smurf and his homies were actually in the crowd and were taunting 50. 50 tried ignoring them at first, but he ended up getting a bottle of water and poured it all over them. Smurf's crew started throwing chairs at 50, and 50 ended up catching one of the chairs and was laughing, bruh. That same year, the G-Unit mixtape Motion Picture Shit dropped, and on one of the tracks, 50 and Banks would go directly at Smurf.
So what, I grew up with them niggas. I ain't stuck with them niggas. We from the same hood, but I don't fuck with them niggas. Shit pop off, I touch one of them niggas. Cut one of them niggas, fuck one of them niggas. I grew up with you, nigga, but I don't fuck with you, nigga. Got shot in the back, turned around and got shot in the eye. Nigga, shoot back, lay down and die. There's a message in my music, can you hear it, Kai? Your man's never gonna blow and you're the reason why. It's disease infested when I spit it, any nigga can get it. Fuck the front and the rhyme, that ass to get flatlined. Can't we all just get along? We used to be friends. Nah, fuck that, man, we used to pretend. These niggas is comedians, I thought I was tight funny. 5 call telling niggas mut need bail money on some real shit. Would you bail a nigga out, son, and you niggas was trying to kill you and would let you hold a gun? Think about it.
The beef would pretty much die down until 2008 when 50 was asked about Smurf in an interview, and he said this.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think about Smurf being deported? You know what I'm saying? I know you probably heard about that.
You said who? Smurf?
Smurf. Yeah.
Yeah, look. That's my baby. You understand what I'm saying? Smurf is my baby boy. He's upset and he get confused. When he gets confused, you know what he do? He get angry.
Fast forward to 2014, Smurf was interviewed and went off, even exposing 50 about the song In the Club, saying 50's Animal Ambition just dropped, he flopped. Once he flopped, G-Unit is gonna flop even extra hard. Banks is not really a street kid or a hustler. He don't know nothing about hustling, getting money out there, scrambling in the streets. So in the industry, it's gonna be the same way, you know what I mean? They depend on 50, that's their daddy. That In the Club hook was a Lloyd Banks hook. 50 took that off Lloyd Banks and did it over. The biggest record in the world today was a Banks hook. Man, if that's true, that's interesting. In August of 2002, they released another tape called No Mercy, No Fear.
I'm like an animal with it when I spit it, it's crazy. Got semi-autos and put hoes and niggas trying to play me. The ball about a bar saying everybody drink the best champagne, it's all on me. Everybody heard of 50 Cent, they heard of G-Unit. I'm not high-tech and I'm not quality.
This tape also featured his breakthrough hit that peaked on the Billboard charts at number 13 with the song Wanksta.
I got a lot of living to do before I die, and I ain't got time to waste.
And bro, when I first heard this song, I think I was in like 2nd grade. Bruh, low-key, this is what introduced me to hip-hop. Cause growing up, all I was really listening to was what my dad was making me listen to. Like the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Temptations, all that stuff. I wasn't really into hip-hop like that. But 50 definitely changed all that for me.
We in Puerto Rico. Y'all make some motherfucking noise.
Puerto Rico, put your fucking hands up right now.
Puerto Rico.
Ho, ho.
Puerto Rico.
Ho, ho.
We say you a wankster.
And you need to stop praying.
You ain't no friend of mine. You ain't no kin of mine.
I'm touring off of mixtapes right now. That's how hot we are.
Official joint is December 3rd, but I'm gonna drop those joints every month.
Okay, the street joints.
Yeah.
You know the No Mercy, No Fear.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep taking everybody's
50's
single
the future.
and doing it over.
You can't knock him. He's taking niggas' songs, flipping their hooks better than the way this shit sound.
Yeah, you're right. I'm Will Yankovic. You know what I'm saying? We say beat, I say eat. You heard me? And I'm put your joint out. And I'm all over the place performing your record. Alright? So get mad, alright?
And then on November 1st, he dropped the God's Plan mixtape, which was actually named the 9th best mixtape ever by XXL magazine.
Until my click pop 'em, swimming in barrels of money. Ma could walk around with a hitter, cause it sounded the dummiest funny.
Niggas clap you or pack you. Either way, your ass is done. If dead men could talk when you sleep, your homie told you who got him. Would you have the heart to shoot the nigga that shot him, huh?
This tape also featured the smash hit Work It remix with Missy Elliott and 50.
And Missy, she too much for me. I'm freaky. Took me to the crib, man, she told me eat me.
They then released another mixtape, Automatic Gunfire, and I'm not sure exactly when this dropped, but this featured the classic Murder Inc. diss, I Smell Pussy. Is that you, Irv?
Is that you, Ty? Y'all niggas is pussy. I'm ballin' now, nigga, now watch me. Watch me. I know you hate it when I pop up, wrists all rocked up, hood empty, niggas locked up, they rats all knocked up. We don't buy pussy, bitch. This ain't Murder Inc., this is G-Unit. We got hoes from coast to coast to stash the toast. I dare you approach, I kill and provoke.
In car dreams, I'm burning unfamiliar bud. Got a shotgun like Elmer Fudd. That'll let off and leave you hella blood.
And then from there, it was time for one of the greatest albums of all time to finally be released. Get Rich or Die Trying.
I see gangsters get religious when they start bleeding, saying, Lord Jesus help me, cause their ass leaking. If I can't do it, homie, it can't be done. Hey, nigga, I'm high all the time. I smoke that good shit. I stay high all the time. Everywhere I go, both coast for toast. East side, west side, I hold it back down.
It's easy to love me now, would you love me if I was down?
Gotta make it to heaven, gotta make it to heaven, I gotta make it to heaven. We in here, we can get the drama poppin', we don't care.
Get Rich or Die Trying was released on February 6, 2003, selling 872,000 copies in its first week, and as of today, it's certified 9 times platinum. I mean, what else can I say about this classic? It's highly credited as restoring gangster rap to prominence in an era when the trend at the time favored more slick, flashy ladies' men rappers and radio-friendly R&B collabs. Some people were even comparing him to Pac in terms of the aggression, the impact, and that anti-hero appeal. Bruh, I remember hearing In the Club for the first time and man, every birthday party, every barbecue you went to, every house was playing that track.
When I say 50, homie, you say Sid. 50, 50, And you know we don't give up. You can find me in the club. Bottle full of bug. Mama, I got what you need if you need to fill up. I'm in the having sex, I ain't in the making love. Come get me yeah. You can find me in the club. Bottle full of bug. Mama, I got what you need if you need to fill up. I'm in the having sex, I ain't in the making love. Come get me up. You're in the get when I pull up out front, see the being zone. When I roll 20 deep, it's always
And the award for best rap video goes to, come on, Playboy, 50 Cent.
It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday.
Yeah. Oh man. This is my first time. You know, y'all been out here for. This has been an incredible year for me. This movement right here is Eminem's movement, but I'ma hold on to this one. I'ma keep this one. I wanna thank everybody at retail, everybody at radio, everybody that purchased my CD. Thank y'all for coming out, making this a big event.
Yo, I could showcase every single song on this tape. This is basically a flawless album, and probably a top 5 album of all time to me. Now, remember how I said before how Nas and 50 would get into a little beef? Well, it all started with this. Back in January 23rd, 2001, Jennifer Lopez dropped her single, I'm Gonna Be Alright. And on the remix, 50 Cent was actually a feature, but that version of the song never released. Instead, Trackmasters and Irv Gotti replaced 50 with Nas on the song. And on June 10th, 2002, the official remix was released with Nas.
I took you from the projects, put the best clothes in your closet like Ginger from Casino.
According to Nas, 50 felt some type of way that he did the song with J-Lo, but according to 50, he wasn't really tight that Nas did the track. He was more upset that Nas didn't call him about it. And he also didn't like how Nas was hanging around Irv. And you already know that 50 doesn't rock with Murder Inc. one bit. In an interview that 50 did in 2007, 50 finally talked about how he felt about Nas and that whole situation.
Nas, yo, let me tell you something. Look, people think I don't like Nas, right? I don't. You know what it is, the pledges. I was more hurt about Nas. Then it turned like the way I express myself is easier for me to express it angry. So it comes off like that when I start talking about him because I got frustrated about the situation. Cause I mean like with the whole crew, like he was in position, cool. For real. You know this.
He used to big you up though, crazy.
Yeah, he was. I mean early on, and I'm like, yo, I rock with him. Like he took me on a promo tour, first tour.
Word?
He took me on
wow, Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. Yayo was with me.
I was there too. Wow.
It was just me and Yayo before. This is before Banks came to picture everything. You know what I'm saying? He took me on his tour. We was riding with him. Everything good. Like I seen some things that was like instead of him actually vibing with everybody that's on the tour, like he would have his book off to the side, like you know what I'm saying?
That's his vibe though. He keeps it himself.
That's how he is. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand how when he was in position, how he didn't do anything to set up his crew. You feel what I'm saying? Like the Bravehearts, like at the time, Jungle, Wiz, Horse, all of them. And we was all on the same van together. We wasn't even on a bus.
Right.
Like vans together, riding. And it was like, I was honored to even be allowed on his tour at that point because I didn't have anything by How to Rob at that point. You know, he just said, yo, that record feels crazy. It reminds me of when I came out. He had options. He could have took Nature. Could have took other, you know, other artists around it with AZ. Fox, he could have took whoever he wanted to take with him, you know, and he said, no, he wanted me to come with him. So I went with him.
Did he have was the Firm still popping back then?
The Firm, I don't think he liked anything that was a conflict to him shining as Nas. You feel what I'm saying? And that's my assumption after the fact. Because I didn't understand why he didn't utilize all that at that point. Like even after Uchi Wilder came out, they had a smash, man.
But you know what? Originally, he wasn't on that record. The record that when they gave me up on Mixtape, Nas wasn't on that record.
Right.
He hopped on at the end and they shot the video for it.
But that's when it was working. It was working when they gave it to you, Clue. And then he got on the joint because it was working, and then he didn't travel with him to support it. What's the difference?
I don't know about.
All right, ask me this. What's the difference between Bravehearts and G-Unit? It's momentum. When I had the momentum, I worked them in, Clue. I could have sold a blank CD after Get Rich or Die Trying. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That's the real deal, man. And then after we get going, like they was established, they got groomed. Yeah, he was already grown because he was with me even then. So when he's locked up and he's going through
Y'all
what he's
sounded
going,
crazy on the mixtape. Just on the mixtape alone, y'all sounded like, you know what I mean?
like we was already veterans, because we was getting knocked around. If while Nas had that energy, he could have helped them get into a decent space financially before going, you know what, y'all on your own. He didn't really give them that support and then said, now y'all on your own. I still talk to Lloyd, Spunk, the people who was there that wasn't a part of the music.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And we all good. It's just I didn't see him doing, like, he just looked, and then his character is
Have you seen him and spoke to him?
No,
recently? Not at all?
No.
Not since then?
And I haven't seen him.
Wow.
Yeah, like I had a conversation. Look, he wanted to do the same thing that Jay did to him with Carmen, to Mega. Because he called me to get Holly number in Queens. Circle 5. And Mega was messing with it at the time. He was tight at Mega at the time. He sent me to go get the number. I went through there. And then after that, it was like he called me like 3 times that night to tell me what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And then when I did the Jennifer Lopez joint, I did a remix for Jennifer, because the first thing I did is Puffy called me back to help him with the Make This Money.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? And after I did that, then I was working with Jennifer. I did a remix on one of her joints. And then Irv started crying and Donnie and them and was like, yo, what are you going to do? This guy's exactly what he says he is on these records. You know what I mean? Why you want to do business? What happens when he gets mad and he does this something to Jennifer? So he was kind of using me against me at the time. And then they pulled back off. He was like, use Nas. Nas just beat Jay-Z. They just went through the ether, that little back and forth thing. You know what I'm saying? And then Nas ended up doing the record. I wasn't mad that he did the record. I was mad that he didn't call me. You called me 3 times to ask me about Mega's girl. And then you didn't call me when you did the record though.
And for those who didn't know this, the beat for Many Men was actually for Nas first. Lenny Nicholson talked about this a while back, saying
50 Cent's song Many Men was a Nas track first. He actually vocaled it. He was starting to develop another artist named Nas Showing. He had to massively impress Nas. If Nas started something, he would add his vocals to it and see if Nas would be impressed enough to keep it. Nas didn't finish that track, and that was a track that he just fell out of love with. Nicholson then says that he asked permission to give the beat to 50. At the time, both of them were on Columbia Records, so it kind of made sense, and 50 and Nas already kind of had a rapport. Nicholson says, at the time 50 was looking for something just to stay busy and keep writing. I gave it to 50, and it turned into Many Men.
Yo, it's interesting to know that fact, because yeah, I could envision Nas bodying that beat, but Many Men is so iconic, it's hard to picture anyone having a better song than what 50 gave us. Also on the track High All The Time off Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 mentions Nas in it, saying he's going at Nas and Hov for the throne.
If David could go against Goliath with a stone, I could go at Nas and Jigga, both for the throne.
In a concert that Nas had in Central Park, New York in 2004, Nas actually sent shots at 50. But there's more to this beef that I'll get into soon. But let's stick to 03 for now. Now, Get Rich or Die Trying is the hottest CD out at the time. So at this point, 50 was gearing up to put his crew on the map to the mainstream. This is where he would officially sign Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and Young Buck, who was originally signed to Cash Money from way back in '97. But that didn't really go too well because he didn't even release a project, and he left them for Juvenile's UTP Records in 2000. He dropped 2 projects under that label, but it didn't really garner any buzz like that. And during this time in 03, Tony Yayo was locked up, so 50 needed to fill that gap, so he gave Buck that call. But of course, the early days of G-Unit can't be mentioned without mentioning another rapper that you guys are probably familiar with, The Game. So during this time, Dre would see Game giving out mixtapes throughout the city of Compton, and decided to sign him to Aftermath. Dre was working with The Game in the studio for a few months, but it wouldn't be until August of 2003 where Game and 50 would link up in the studio. On the G-Unit Taking It to the Streets mixtape, which dropped in August, there was a track on there called So Hard.
Baby, corner in Brooklyn, playing CeeLo, call me NY Game. Gucci, Chuck Taylor, black diamonds in my chain. G-Unit.
And this would be The Game's G-Unit debut on a song. Yo, it's crazy how LeBron is really on the cover of this, bro. And he's still in the league to this day.
To this day!
Putting up damn near 30 points a game. That shit is just wild to me. Music executive Jimmy Iovine had an idea that would explode the game's career. Dre and Jimmy thought it would be a dope idea if the game would be an official member of G-Unit, since 50 was the hottest out at the time. We'll get into the game a little more in a second. 50 alongside Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo wasn't really on it because he was locked up, and new member Young Buck were introduced to the mainstream with G-Unit's first debut album, Beg for Mercy, releasing on November 14, 2003, selling 377,000 copies first week. Classic, bro.
Eye for an eye, nigga. Survive the shots or die, nigga. I should try to surf. My neck stay blingin', my rims stay gleamin'. I'm shining, man.
Cowards don't want none. They screaming that they murderers, but walking with no guns.
Every hood we go through, all the gangsters around know my whole crew.
I'm getting the feeling you wanna take revenge from the conversations we have and the way it ends.
I sweet talk her if she like, cause all she really want is a nigga to treat her right.
Another banger that dropped this year too was a Lil Kim song featuring 50 called Magic Stick.
I got the magic stick. I know if I could hit once, I could hit twice.
On January 2004, the G-Unit All Eyes on Us mixtape would drop with the game on the cover. Now the world knows that he's officially a member.
A year ago I was making moves. The closest I've ever been to NY was Crush Crew. Now I walk through Manhattan, pants sagging, me and Shy Money trying to get 50 to put on a pair of khakis.
Now 50 is gearing up to executively produce Lloyd Banks' solo debut, Hunger for More, which would drop on June 29, 2004.
I'm a grown man, dog, I ain't no bitch. You look behind you when you turn the corner, cause death is promised. You done seen some niggas go before you. If it get too hot, up in this spot, we on fire.
But of course we gotta talk about the deal 50 had with Vitamin Water.
And often thinks of him as a true OG. Kept so busy by his recording career, it hasn't felt up to trying this. But since he began drinking Vitamin Water Formula 50, he feels he's up to the task.
One more change, this one for the first viola chair. DJ Who Kid. Sounds like he's integrated his hit into club. Extraordinary. And now he's calling out the trombonist for a solo, which is great because they'd been rumored to have beef before the show.
Vitamin water, try it.
Man, what's that, man? Vitamin water ain't need me, man. Ain't me as a spokesperson, man. I mean, the girls be with me, man. They need a refreshing drink, man. They in the back, I give them a refreshing drink so they can keep working, man.
Finals are here. Dwight and Kobe are the best of the best. Vitamin water's right there with them. The best of the best drink, right here. Good luck, the best of the best. We'll see who really is the best. 50 Cent.
Yeah, the best of the best, man. My best customers, man. Yeah!
We take it. Vitamin water has the best customers. We'd like to thank them for their support.
Damn, man, you forgot Pippin. We here, Pippin. Yeah, we here, man. Come on, man.
Vitamin water gives them the vitamins they need to compete. Even though there's no competition out there, it still gives me my daily dose of vitamins and antioxidants.
Man, I'm always on the night shift, man. Always on the night shift. Yeah.
It's Curtis Jackson again. You guys know, without a doubt, I promote Vitamin Water the best.
Vitamin water!
None of those other guys would do that.
Shit.
That wasn't part of the skit.
We all remember the old game. Vitamins, water, repeat. No thanks. Then we gave you Vitamin Water and changed the game. Hi, I'm Canadian celebrity Steve Nash. Yeah, that's right. Have you ever wanted to make your own flavor of Vitamin Water, but you didn't want to deal with the mess, the stress, the legal ramifications? Do you feel stuck in the past, wishing you had a new, futuristic Web 2.0 way to get your vitamins? Do you feel like your creativity is being suppressed by the powers that be? Like you just want to bust out, express yourself? Check it. We're gonna let you, yeah, I said it, you, design your own vitamin water.
Hi, I'm Curtis Jackson. I used to have to grind to get my vitamins, till I made my own flavored vitamin water. Now I'm stanky rich. You know, I smell like the vault, man. I mean, I'm so paid, man. I made this dude that nobody knew from nowhere famous. Real slumdog millionaire, man. Now he act like he don't even know me, man.
Look, people, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, go to facebook.com/vitamin water. Step 2, pick your vitamins and your favorite flavor. Step 3, design your bottle. Step 4, get paid.
No purchase necessary. Open legal residence in the United States and DC. Purchase 13 years old. Time 18. Never resident bank. Contest must be entered by 10/20/09. Prize awarded only for label design contest. For official rules and complete details, visit www.facebook.com/vitaminwater. Sponsor Energy Brands Incorporated, doing business as Blue Cell.
Why are we doing this? Are we crazy? Maybe.
It all really started with a test run where 50 drank vitamin water in a Reebok commercial.
Oh, oh, let me see, let me see. They'll hear us.
Cheat, we don't play that, man. Cheat, we don't play that, man. Just what you see the best of me. How can you go on? Is it a dream or a nightmare?
Go, 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 go. Yeah.
The new GXT by Reebok, in stores now.
After that, 50 and Chris Lighty, who used to be his manager, rest in peace to Chris Lighty, but Glosol, the people who make vitamin water, pushed back. But in 2004, the two sides agreed to a deal where 50 would get a 10% stake in his Formula 50 brand. 50 pushed the brand heavily in commercials, songs, and more. Bruh, vitamin water's sales grew from 100 million in 04 to 700 million in 2007. And in May of 07, Coca-Cola bought Glosol for $4.1 billion. And best believe 50 Cent got paid. He apparently walked away with a reported $100 million from that deal. Formula 50 wasn't just a flavored water brand. It was a formula for how hip-hop would partner with brands moving forward. And it tasted pretty good, I ain't gonna lie. 2004 was really the year of G-Unit, bro.
We on fire. We set the roof up. Like the roof on fire. What you say? We get loose in this. Like the roof on fire. I smoke without water. 26 inch coke smokes on the Hummer. This ain't cool that for the whole summer. One of your goods faster than the road runner.
So of course, this is a time when streaming and being able to just type in on YouTube any song you wanted at your fingertips didn't exist. Nah fam, you actually had to go outside and actually buy the CDs. I gotta go outside? My mom, of course, didn't really like when there was dirty words or whatever, so I had to get the clean versions of the songs. But your boy didn't have any money.
Come on, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money.
So how was I gonna be able to listen to these songs whenever I could? Well, I used to go to Walgreens and ask my mom for blank CDs. So I could go to my cousin's house, because I didn't have a computer yet, and ask him non-stop, hey, can you make a CD for me, please? Like a mixtape of songs? And he would be like, all right, I got you. And here comes Limewire. For you youngins out there, this was the shit. Being able to illegally download any song you wanted. And I ain't gonna lie, fam, I used to be mad scared to download these songs, bro. I used to think that the SWAT team was just gonna pull up and barge in my door like, hey.
Let's download some Metallica and some Stevie Wonder. What the hell is that? I don't know, let me check.
Freeze, FBI!
They were all around the world touring, being the biggest group out at the time, with the clothing, all of that. Young Buck released his debut album too, Fresh Out of Cashville on August 24th, 2004.
Come and get it, we got it. Take a trip to the projects, you see the police. I came to ball with y'all, buy up the bar and all. So ladies, call your girls and homies, call your dog. Let your head down. You said you want to thug, don't be scared now. Sure they want to ride with me.
In September of this year, Banks dropped a mixtape called More Money in the Bank Part 3. Where on the track Burying Bodies featuring 50, 50 actually dissed Nas.
I heard that nigga Nas talk about me. He don't want it with me. He can't even fuck my nigga. See, you hear this nigga Banks? Oh my God, baby.
The game at this point was really gaining steam and notoriety, with the first lead single to his soon-to-come debut album, West Side Story, featuring 50 Cent.
I'm in the rear view, my guns is cocking. I put red dots on a nigga head like Rodman.
Then on November 23rd, which is my birthday by the way, How We Do would be released.
Ja Rule can suck my Ashanti can Irv Gotti Murder Inc. Joe Budden.
And when I tell you this song was a smash, yeah, it was everywhere. In the beginning of 2005, towards this time was really when the beef between Game and 50 would begin. It's a real shame too, because this was literally when Game and G-Unit was just on another level. 50 was working on his next studio album, which was originally supposed to be called St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and was scheduled for a Valentine's Day release. But during this time, the Game was working on his debut album, The Documentary. 50 ended up giving the Game a bunch of tracks that he was working on, so that Game's album would be successful. 50 wrote on 6 tracks for the documentary: Hate It or Love It, How We Do, Church for Thugs, Special, Higher, and West Side Story. But during this time, the Game at his shows was out here dissing other artists and DJs for no apparent reason. So 50 had to cover for the Game and call these dudes to not let things escalate and keep Game's career on a good path. In an interview 50 did years later, 50 talks about all of this.
Will we ever see Game and 50 Cent work together again?
I doubt that. Strongly. I didn't do anything. I never really understood, because I didn't know what the motivation was for the Game issue. Initially it was like just a decision on his part. I felt like, because I went over it in my head a million times on.
Does it feel like with Game, watching your behind the music also, and saying you recorded these records, you did the vocal, you said, no, put this on there, like gave them like heaters. Yeah. Is it more betrayal than anything? Like,
well, yeah, but I didn't have a long period of time around Game. We worked for about 5 days.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And Dre spent a year in the studio with Game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he had a chance to be around him to kind of gauge what his character was. Right. And when he was.
When did you realize what his character was?
After his record was out. You see what I'm saying? Right after the record was out, it was like, I'm hot. Because of how many records it sold at that point. And then
were there times when you guys were on the road, or you seen something when he was with G-Unit that you was like, oh man?
Never.
Never.
There was never any, like, he called me actually. Because he had said something about Jay-Z. He said he could suck his, and Memphis Bleak and Beanie Siegel. He did it overseas and it came back right away. And he had called me and I was like, yo, let me talk to him, because it was so early that Jay could have kind of put his lights out. Right. You know what I mean? Like, your record just came out last week. Why'd you say that? You know what I'm saying? It was really his first performance, like. And he went off and he said these things, and then I was busy patching that. I was putting band-aids over stab wounds in that situation, and then he came back, and his way of patching it up was, I don't have a problem with Jay-Z or Fat Joe or anybody. Like he said, I didn't have a problem with anybody instead of the people that he directly had those issues with. Right. And it was like, I'm busy patching this thing up that you just did, and you come back and you say you don't have a problem even with the people that I have issues with.
Right. So was that like strike 1 and 2, or was that strike?
It was interesting, like, because he was saying, because they were talking to him discussing what I had put out on Piggy Bank, and he was like, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with that, and this and that, and I'm like, I just gave you your first 3 singles.
The crazy thing is too, in the Hate It or Love It music video, 50 actually refused to sit in the passenger seat of the car that Game was sitting in the back seat. It's crazy because growing up, I didn't even realize that. Like, yo, why is 50 back there? Like, I never really put 2 and 2 together.
And I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop. Go ahead, envy me.
In February of 2005, 50 Cent went on the radio and announced publicly that the Game was no longer on G-Unit.
Hey, now, let's talk about the G-Unit for a minute, 50. Yeah. Now, I read where you said Game was about to be dropped from Aftermath Interscope before you got involved. That's true?
Yes, it was absolutely the truth.
How did that transpire?
Creatively, the tires got stuck in the mud, and, you know what I mean? So we actually got together. I recorded 6 records on Game's new album.
Right.
I did West Side Story, How We Do, Hate It or Love It, Church for Thugs, Special, and Higher. You see what I'm saying? And he came back recently from overseas and was disrespectful, man. Like the way he's like, it's like he's feeling himself, like because of how well his record is selling.
Mm-hmm.
So I openly I wouldn't expose what I did for the project, but I wrote those records. I created the concept of those records, and he rapped around it. He's a great rapper. He's not a good songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
There's a difference.
It's a major difference. You know?
Yeah.
And he says a lot of people's names for shock value. He says things he doesn't mean. He says a lot of things and take it back.
Uh-huh.
He says, you know, he had issues with Joe Buttons. Then he runs into him in a club and they're taking pictures. He had issues with Memphis Bleak. Then he ran into Memphis Bleak in Miami. It was no problem. You know what I mean? See, he this is the truth. You know what I mean? The facts. This is the same facts that I talked about on Piggy Bank. See, I'm not a fake person. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. You see what I'm saying? And for me, he has a lot of inconsistencies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's incredible that he would come back and forget how much I've done for him. You know, personally. You know what I'm saying?
So where does he stand as far as Junior is concerned right now?
Across the street or around the corner. He's not in my camp.
Not at all?
No way.
Okay.
Not after being that disrespectful. And at the same time, it's the same thing. Like, for me, I love Dr. Dre. The same way I love Eminem.
Well, why did you and Game get into a shoving match?
We ain't never been in a shoving match.
No, that's not true?
That's what you say to sound good.
Okay.
That's what you say to look good. Me and 50, I push 50.
Never.
You see what I'm saying? That never happened. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's things that they say that inconsistent. Like, I really don't understand what made him do that. Like, what's on your mind?
Later that day, the Game was in New York when he would sit down with Angie Martinez and Hot 97.
Who's this?
It's Tom from Rockaway.
What's up, baby?
I just want to know what's up with Game. What's up with him and 50? 50 talking real greasy, you know?
What exactly? What do you say?
Somebody asked the way Game still with G-Unit. He said around the block. He said across the street around the block. He said, next album he ain't doing nothing for you, mate. You gonna sell like 500,000 copies. That's what he said? That's what he said. Wow. What you think about that, man? Yo, Game, don't hurt this cat. Don't hurt this cat, man. Listen to the clown, man. I'm from Rockaway, Queens, man.
Hey, yo, you know what I'm gonna do, man?
What you gonna do, baby?
I'm gonna be easy and I'm gonna make good music, homie.
That's all.
And you know what else I'm gonna do, big dog?
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna keep it 100% hood and still cross over.
That's what's up, baby.
All the time, from Rockaway, Queens to Compton.
That same day, 50 would sit down with Funkmaster Flex at Hot 97, where he would once speak again about the Game. The Game would find out and he pulled up with his homies to where 50 was at. And a bunch of shots went off that day.
Well,
we got it.
Let's go.
We going.
Enough's enough?
Right now.
It's Hot 97. Funk Flex. We focused.
DJ, nobody.
Flex, sorry about that. Hey, it's okay, fellas. Hey, it's all great.
And we just want to know what's popping, like why you talking all this shit, right? So, I'm at the radio station outside. I'm waiting on 50 to come out the front door because I think it's only one way in or one way out. You know what I'm saying? That's the front door. So we just waiting down there. The nigga sends the police security guards down there. As soon as we get to walking up the door, the police got scared and they start popping. And one of my niggas got hit. And but the media said 50 Cent shot at Game and somebody fell. 50 Cent ran out the back door. He crawled out the rat hole. Cause the nigga didn't come out the front door, he ran out the back door with 40 police. And I ain't gonna sit up here and hate on the nigga. The nigga he made hot songs. You know what I'm saying? You can find him in the club, him and Lloyd Banks hugging. Yeah, I remember that shit. It was cool. I like the shit. You know what I'm saying? I really like the shit, man. He sell records, but a G, he's not. So I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for the nigga to come out. The police popping at us and shit. So we running. You can't shoot back at the police and shit. So we go back to LA and then the whole shit busts out. And then 50 get around. They talking about fuck Game. He ain't in the group. Nigga, I never wanted to be in the group. Y'all couldn't tell. I stay by myself all the time, man. That nigga sleep with 40 cops. Nigga, the cops read the nigga his rights before he go to bed. The po-po jumped the nigga in and read him his rights. You have a right to remain silent, 50. If you don't resist it, the cops read the nigga's rights before he go to sleep.
And on March 8th, 2005, 50 would go on to drop his next studio album, The Massacre, selling 1.15 million copies in just its first 4 days alone, and was #1 on the Billboard charts for 6 weeks straight. He even did a special edition for the CD, which included a DVD where he had exclusive music videos for every single song on the album.
It ain't my fault. You can't break it down the way I break it down.
From the beginning to the end, lose is lose, win is win. This is real, we ain't got to pretend.
If you feel like you're on fire, boy, drop and roll. Niggas that heat your ass up, cause they heart turn gold. You don't want it with my toy so close now, follow instructions. Catch a nigga slip and run up on him and buck him. Nigga, that watch is nice, that's what you bought for me. That chain is nice, that's what you bought for me. You know I got what it takes to make the club go out of control. All I really need is a little bit, not a lot, baby girl. Just little mama, show me how you move it. Go ahead, put your back into it.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
Yeah.
One taste of what I got.
Yo, I had no business singing this as a kid, bruh. In fact, this was pre-YouTube, so I used to be fiending to watch these music videos back when Time Warner Cable had the on-demand channel. I used to watch nothing but 50, Eminem, even Cassidy on there. Did you know the original cover had guns in the background, but was eventually taken out with the gradient covering it all? I low-key didn't know that. Random fact. 50 in the Game later entered in a truce 6 days after this was released, but that wouldn't last very long after the Game made fun of G-Unit at Summer Jam, where he would first launch the G-U-Not phrase, and even threw his G-Unit chain in the crowd. This was honestly a crazy moment, and mind you, this is in New York, bruh. New York.
Wait a sec, give it, yo. Who got my chain? My old chain. I'm not affiliated, so y'all can have this motherfucker back, man. Yeah, you know me, Mr. Throw his chain in the crowd. Give me the G in the chain.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, shit.
So you can see it's authentic. Fuck this chain. Have that.
That's about to be an ill fight.
Straight the fuck out of county. And I got love for New York. But I ain't no motherfucking punk. And I ain't nobody's soldier, and I don't follow suit like faggot ass Yayo and faggot ass Banks, nigga. I'm a real nigga, and that's why niggas kick me out the group, and I still don't give a fuck. Niggas can be mad at me, man. I'm a real nigga, and I'm always gonna be the real nigga. Documentary in stores, nigga. 4 times platinum worldwide. Y'all heard me do it, so make some motherfucking noise, man. Don't hate me, I ain't the motherfucking bad guy, man. And it's still fuck 50. Now play my shit. Man, listen, 50 Cent can suck my Lloyd can suck my Yayo can suck my G-Unit can suck my Talk can suck my. And that's what it is. Oh, rat ass nigga. That's my nigga 50 Cent. And that's the nigga, that's Yayo on the ground. That's 50 Cent. Yeah. Get his ass on the stage, man, he a rap. Now I play my shit. Man, fuck 50 Cent. And I'm going. In New York, after all that, I still love y'all, man. Cause y'all helped me go 4 times back. But I don't fuck with reps, man. And that's just how it is. And for the record, since we got these cameras on, you see myself everywhere. I got the New York Mets hat. I will knock Lloyd Banks out in this shit. As soon as Yayo can come far enough out the house, I'll knock his ass out. And 50 know he don't win. That's why he keep the motherfucking cops outside. And he wouldn't come outside at Hot 97. He was upstairs, nigga went out the back door because the nigga's a rat.
This same year, Tony Yayo would drop his debut album, Thoughts of a Predicate Felon, the same day as Kanye's Late Registration. This album got some real classic tracks on here, bruh.
I'm in the candy painted range, Cartier frame, 6x9s playing so I can hear everything.
Aw, nigga, do you know who you with? It's Tony Yayo up in this bitch.
I get the wave in that semi like it's legal. A little nigga hurt his arm letting off that eagle.
We gotta talk about that Piggy Bank record though.
You know, I didn't diss anybody. I made factual statements about them. I'm responding to the things that they're doing. So I hear everything, every little thing, things that they would probably think didn't count because it didn't do anything for their career. I still heard what you said.
So what is it that you confronted on this record, Piggy Bank, concerning Jada, Fat Joe, in general?
50 was in a lot of different beefs throughout his career, but one that many people remember, and Tony Yayo calls this one of the only real beefs that G-Unit had, was the one with Fat Joe. This is how it all started.
I'm responding to the things that they're doing. I mean, it's been visible.
I'm from New York, and this is how we do.
That song, New York, features Jadakiss and Fat Joe rapping alongside Ja Rule, whose own beef with 50 stems from an old street rivalry in Queens. In 50's eyes, that means they've chosen sides.
They come from environments where they know, and they ain't in the dark. They know what it is. This is not music beef. Now, it doesn't stem from music. It comes from actual street. Now, that don't die. So it's like, you don't stand so close to that person that you viewed as an ally to him. Well, I'm gonna sit back so you can try and help him. That's exactly what they did with I'm from New York.
Now, on the Massacre, 50's upping the lyrical ante.
That fat thought lean back was in the club. My sold 11 mil. This was a dud.
That's me saying, you know what? That's for you doing that, and you're gonna accept that. If you keep responding, I'll keep going until you don't exist anymore. Fat Joe and Jadakiss, come on, baby. These don't even count, baby.
I mean, combined, I mean, they sell records. They got credibility.
They sell 1 million. They probably sell 1.5 together. Their last 2 releases add up to 1,500,000 copies, both of them together.
It's the Fat Joe kid. He goes Philly. So when he see me, he gonna punch me in my face. And that's not just between me and you in New York City, King, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna whoop his fat ass. You see what I'm saying? Like on a one-on-one tip, like whatever. On that note, like you don't really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You want to just write the verse. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it there. You know what I mean? But when you start, going to say that, then what do you think my expectations of you are when I run into you?
Yes, it's gonna be on, man. I don't think we need that right now, though, man. We don't need that.
All I'm saying is, if you're saying that, that's what you're saying, that's what you're running around saying, then what do you think? Like, forget about me. Let's say I'm sensible enough to fall back, right?
Yeah.
But what about the other 30 people that'll be there every time I'm around? What are their expectations? You understand what I'm saying?
That's real talk.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like I ain't saying none of that to them. But when you start talking all that fancy, when you get that fancy, you gotta be there. You gotta be ready for that. That's all I'm saying. And I heard this coward call you up.
You know, this is the drama hour. This is where everything happens.
Yo, Shrek, man, this ain't WWF, man.
So explain what it is.
Listen, first of all, man, this dude, you know what I'm saying? He wanna come at me. I ain't had no problem with this dude. This dude just invented a problem, you know what I mean? We gave him ample enough time to change the record. He didn't want to change the record or whatever the case may be, so he wants beef. So the dude wants rap battle beef.
Okay.
You know, you yourself ain't never seen this dude in the club. His number 1 record is called In the Club. We ain't never seen this dude in the club in our life. He ain't grow up with the 20 white boys that he be with every day. And that bulletproof shit, that shit ain't fly, B. He act like, yo, my Teflon car, no, you scared.
Wait, hold up, Joe, it's still radio. Listen, this is double drama. It's
real talk, so people gotta understand, this dude is CB4, man, he a gimmick. I mean, all that, he'll kill Ja, catch you when I catch you, I won't back down. It's been like 4 years, he ain't even slapboxed with Ja yet. So, this dude, he be throwing mad darts. He's a hermit. He stay home all day. And he just feel he diss people from long distance. So he know he don't be in no Queens. Queens ain't never see this dude, man. So the point is that this dude, he's a rap battler, a great entertainer. He makes great music. Other than that, he ain't real. Ain't nobody losing sleep over him. Whatever the case may be, the bulletproof vest is the fake Scarface on the, crossbow. Dudes in the hood don't be having crossbows, B. So, at the end of the day, crack is crack. This dude wants some credibility, and he figured like, boom, all right. So he did Nas on the record. People was like, oh, Nas is nice. He did Ether. He did Jadakiss on the record. Yo, Jada, them boys, they nice. He did Joe. Hold up. Like you gotta admit, when you first heard he dissed Joe, you're like, this dude ain't crazy. He cannot be serious disrespecting Joe. But that's what the fans feel. So he trying to win credibility disrespecting me, because the fans know they see me in Harlem. They see me in Brooklyn. They see me in the Bronx. They see me with no bodyguard. I never had a bodyguard in my life. So he feel like, oh, I disrespect him, I'm going to get points off it. He don't understand. He's a coward, B. He's a coward. This dude scared of his own shadow, man. Them steroids is getting to him, man. This is real talk, man. I'm going to judge him on the album one time, man. I ain't no battle rapper. And if you want to see me, don't talk to the... You see, this all radio and all this is like I'm falling for the plan. Yo, don't do it. You know Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty knows me very well. Tell me where to meet you. I'll walk down there one deep and I will knock you out. It's simple. It's so simple because at the end of the day, he ain't built like that. So when he look at Joe Crack eyes, he ain't going to want it like that. He ain't gonna win it. I'm telling you, he's not built like that.
And on June 14, Fat Joe would release his album All or Nothing, and on the album there was a track called My Fofo where he would go directly at 50.
50, you gon' end up dead when you fucking with crack. Talk about you gon' pop off. Where the fuck you be at?
At the 2005 MTV VMAs, Fat Joe dissed 50 live.
I like to tell the people home, I feel so safe tonight with all this police protection courtesy of G Unit.
Then 50 would go on to clap back at him at the same show.
Do it again. Fat Joe is man. Pussy boy. Fuck boy. Fuck. What? And all the niggas is true.
Fat Joe claimed that this incident is why he didn't get a sneaker deal with Jordan, and that 50 costed him $20 million, bruh. 50 would go on to release his Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack later in the year for his autobiographical movie Get Rich or Die Trying, which was a decent movie. I remember watching it back then. I think I had it on bootleg or some shit. On it would be the smash song Window Shopper, but there would be another version of that song where he would come at Nas, Jadakiss, Ja Rule, and of course Fat Joe. The beef with him and Joe wouldn't really go anywhere until 2008, but we'll get into that. For now, let's get into this 50 and Jadakiss beef.
Jadakiss is a well-liked guy. There's not many people, too many places who doesn't like him.
If you want to be technical, there's a lot of people, a lot of places that don't even know who Jadakiss is. I've been in markets that have no idea who Jadakiss is.
Who's your favorite music?
50 Cent.
50 Cent.
50 Cent gets everywhere.
You know, I performed in Nigeria in front of 100,000 people by myself. Go to Nigeria and ask them about Fat Joe and Jadakiss. And I don't know who you're talking about. Dubai, go there, go to all these different places. They don't know these people.
This all stemmed from that Ja Rule New York track. 50 didn't like that Jadakiss was on that song. And 50 was always a fan of Jadakiss and the Lox too. He even gave him props on the song Back Down.
I'm the hardest from New York. My flow is bonkers. All the other hard they come from Yonkers.
But when New York dropped, yeah, 50 didn't like that. So on that Piggy Bank track, like I said before, Jada was one of those dudes who 50 dissed on. A couple days later, Jada would drop one of the craziest diss tracks towards 50 called Checkmate, which the name was pretty clever too, because on the song Piggy Bank, 50 says that it's chess, not checkers. This song actually ended up charting on Billboard, and he even toured with this.
Time to be rich.
Sheesh! 50 would of course hear this track, so a few months later on the G Unit Radio Part 11, Yayo Raw and Uncut Mixtape, 50 would have a song called I Run New York, with Yayo coming at Jada too. 50 put a lot of Jada's business out there.
Man,
Jada would fire back with a diss track called Problem Child with Styles P.
Can't really figure this clown out. Where is he from? Jamaica, Queens, Cali, or down south? D-Block, don't think it, nigga. Take a in your Formula 50. Drink it, nigga.
A video would then surface online from a site called whatshood.com of Jada outside of a club.
What's hood? You know what's hood? Me, nigga. Parking my truck, walking to the club by myself. That's what's hood. You know what it is. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing. What's going on? What's up with that 50, man. 50's a coward. Where's he at?
A year later, on July 2006, on the G-Unit Radio Part 21 Hate It or Love It mixtape, hilarious cover by the way, on the track 5 Heartbeats with Yayo, 50 took shots at Jada.
I got a 16-shot Ruger, I got 16 cars. All over how I write 16 bars. Joe and Jada, they're fucking retards. I run in the scope, oh my god.
It's the first of the month. It's a fucking zoo out here, man. It's fucking chimpanzees, man. Fucking monkeys talking about me, man. Pull through there, man, it's hot. Niggas out on the curb, I'm like, look at these donkeys. Bunch of fucking jackasses. Man, go do something. Damn, go to jail. Give yourself an excuse for being fucking broke.
Things would get heated in the beginning of 2007 when Styles P would call in on Hot 97 while 50 was there.
Hey, let me tell you something about people like me, dog. My joint went 80,000. Yeah. I really don't care. I care because I wish I would have sold $1 million. Don't let me lie too much. I wish you would have sold $1 million. But if it don't sell $1 million, it don't sell $1 million. I make music. I'm Styles. I walk the streets. Like, I'm in the streets.
They're going to always appreciate what he do.
But so long as I'm decent and I'm making a little something, I don't need to have the 6 cars in my lot.
No, I need them. That's what we changed. That's where I changed that. Let me tell you something. Like, I agree. If you say that I'm a different person, anybody say that money don't change them, they just didn't make enough. They just didn't make enough. I'm telling you that the industry, what you hear from me that makes me appear industry styles is the new information.
That's true, I'm good, dog.
And this is only
couple cars, 2 beautiful kids, family, wife at home.
You straight.
And in the street, I got the utmost respect.
When I was
and I got loyalty from those who are around me.
Then you
and
good.
A couple people will die for me, and a couple people will kill for me.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good. Then you unpack it. But what I'm saying to you is, I didn't know exactly what was going on with you, and to have you out there like with nothing. That's not what I intended for.
Nah, you can't do that. Jimmy can't do that. No record company in the world could do that. I'm Styles. I'm from the streets.
All right, we gotta grind it out.
You had a lot of power. I mean, you showed me something that you could push me back, or even had the power to scare the building. Because I don't think Jimmy did it. I want to know.
How do you know? Styles? Can I ask you a question? How do you know? Like, how do you know that 50 pushed you back and not feel a way about that?
I can stop a record from going out of touch.
No, but I'm asking how he could not feel.
Because what he put me through, Ange, if you won't kill me, you can only make me stronger. So him pushing me back got me on my P's and Q's and got me on my toes, and that helped me get off the majors. See, because I ain't going to sell him $10 million he going to sell. I ain't going to sell him $5 million he going to sell. I ain't going to make them songs. But, like, as you know, I am probably the best hardcore lyricist. I am the best hardcore lyricist, point blank. Other stuff, everybody got me else on, but hardcore, I am the best. So I ain't gonna sell him $5 million. I ain't gonna sell him $10 million. So I ain't gonna make that money that 50 made, or whoever else M made, or I ain't gonna be. They ain't gonna respect me like that over there, like how they respect them.
Let me ask you this.
Like you said, this is the industry, and they respect money.
Hold up, Styles. Would you? Because at the beginning of this, 50 said he wanted to broker this. Would you ever consider doing business with 50 Cent?
He said he don't care about the money no more.
No, I love money. I just tell you, I take respect over money. I ain't saying I don't care about money.
Would you ever do business with 50?
I would do business with him, but I wouldn't let him broker my deal. I'm a man. We could do some other business or something. I'm a man like he is. He can't do nothing to affect me. Well, he did affect me.
Check this out,
I'm into making money. He want to make some money. He could call Styles up and make some money.
We definitely gonna talk about it. I don't want
to make me blind and not want to make no money.
Nah.
You want to make some money?
This grown man conversation.
Look,
Styles. Want to get it in? You can
listen.
Get it in too. I'm the hardest.
We gotta have this conversation at the office.
All right.
We gotta finish this conversation at the office because we'll be on this all night, Styles.
All right, but I just wanted to thank you. Hold it down. I just want to tell you from me.
This is like
come back to the streets, bro.
Yeah. I'm on the street. I'm on the street.
What do you feel about that?
If you was broke and you was in Queens and you from Southside and you from the hood, everybody, like, I ain't just blaming you, because to tell you the truth, mostly all y'all rappers is like that now. It's like,
you mean the ones that made some money?
Cars, this and that. But what about the people back in the ghetto? We all came from where your mother and father
and everybody's trying to get out of there.
Yeah, you trying to get out, but now you better than somebody because you got 6 Benzes.
Ain't nobody say you was better than him. I just feel like I'm in a great space.
How you talk, how you sound. I'm just telling you how you come off.
Oh, that's your perception.
I'm ignorant too, because I come off like real on the street, but you come off too rich, bro. Bring it back down, man.
All right, I'm gonna try to ghetto.
Try to ghetto, man. Call me up, man.
Try to ghetto. We're gonna talk, and you're gonna teach me how to do that.
Yeah,
ghetto, and I'm gonna teach you how to make that deal better. Watch.
So,
Koch, watch this. How about this? How about this? Why you got me talking? How about I can stop a record at Koch?
I believe you could. You know why? Because you in that right-hand man. You got the good right-hand mans. Like, I know who your right-hand mans is. You could probably stop damn near any record. But you can't stop me on the street.
No. I don't want to. I don't want to stop you.
I will hope you wouldn't.
All right, let's end this nice.
Yeah, we're gonna call. We're gonna talk at the office.
Feeling a little, yeah. Are you really? Do you really?
Yes.
Styles.
I don't do offices. You can meet me in the hood.
Well, we come to your hood. I come to your hood.
You don't come to my hood. I come to your hood.
I would love to be a fly on the wall.
I come to your hood.
Yeah. Well, we'll sit down and talk about it.
All right. Hold on, baby. Thanks for calling, Styles.
No doubt.
After that, Styles P would drop a mixtape in August of 2007 with 2 songs with Jadakiss on them, going directly at 50.
Yo, he would've been killed you. Why even bother, nigga? Ratted on cream, he probably your father, nigga. Yo, you was never a dog. Niggas knew you was a rap when you made ghetto Quran. Had names you barely knew. Shot you 9 times, you could barely move. Get rich or die trying was a classic. Now you rich and you trying to die. Tried to diss kiss to the world, and it's your fault, cause she said she saw you kissing a girl. The hood was behind her for a whole career, but now they slightly starting to disappear. Something about that, she's always angry. Might have been when them girls try to push her scalp back, needed some headroom. So she went out and bought Tyson's mansion with 18 bedrooms.
And after all this, 50 wanted to end this once and for all, where he actually pulled up on Jada in his hood alone.
I think Fifth was really a fan. Mm-hmm. You know, mutual fan, because we was rocking with him, rooting for them. You know, always root for the underdog. His story is one of the greatest stories. He said on one of his best songs back then, all the other hard niggas, they come from Yonkers.
From Yonkers,
so
right.
That already, like...
That must have been, speaking about how you was talking about Yonkers earlier, a nigga from Queens doing that at the top of his game, that must have been crazy.
That's what I'm saying. That set a precedent, and we knew that he really meant that to be at that height of his career and even say that. Like he didn't have to say that. So he really fucked with us. We knew that, and we didn't even meet him, but just saying that one bar was, we knew what that was. But yeah, after it all died down, it was ill because he came to D Block by himself.
Where?
He came through one day, he called and said, yo, I'm coming through. He came through by himself. He sat down, kicked it for a few hours. Me, him, and P. Sheik wasn't there. Sheik didn't come to the studio that day.
A clip would then come out in 2009 where they were all together, chilling.
Now check this out. This is impressive right here. Look at this. I got Jadakiss. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Come here. Look at this. Now I'm starting to look big now. Now we got Jadakiss out here, live on MTV. And they said we could make. We got Sheik Luke.
Finally, huh?
Big boy.
Peace.
And we got the hearts.
Huh? What's up, baby?
Shout, what up, baby? Hey, what's up, baby? This is real. Now tell me anywhere else you could go where you can see everybody. This representation of hip hop is different portions of hip hop. You got the Locks. They got a foundation of music that they created on the underground and everywhere else consistently for how long? They out here tonight. You got Corey Guns, you got the new young gunners, Corey Gun Trap, you got Mano, you got
It's endless. It's getting ready to get serious. You got Jimmy and Joel's and all of them is coming, and they say
them on the ferry.
yeah, and they say it's New York City that we don't actually get along. That's not true. You see what I'm saying? We can work together and get more money than we can get apart. You're gonna see us do it in the future.
Jada and 50 would eventually link up and do a track together in 2014 called Irregular Heartbeat.
30-something and you ain't never opened your mouth yet. Social media's giving cowards an outlet.
But back to 2005, 50 Cent was arguably the biggest artist on the planet and was at his peak. At one point, he was the first solo artist with 3 singles in the Billboard Top 5 in the same week, with Candy Shop, Disco Inferno, and How We Do. Honestly, you could argue that no one was more popular at their peak than these prime years of 50. Shit, like right out of the gate, just that first year alone. And I experienced it firsthand, being a kid living in New York during these times. 50 Cent was literally everywhere, and anything G-Unit was just cool as hell. You were popping in school if you had anything G-Unit on, bro. Like if you didn't have the G-Unit shoes, the pants, the shirts, hoodies, even underwear, bro, you just wasn't the shit. By the way, I didn't have any of this, so clearly I was not the shit. But yeah, who didn't want to be the popular kid, you feel me? But not only was his music selling like crazy, that boy had a whole movie about him, which included a fire soundtrack.
Goes down over money and horse, but little homie, in my hood when it rains it pours.
If I was your best friend, I want you around all the time. America got a thing for the skinks. You love me. Black truckers, black Scully, London Pele.
But he had a video game too, 50 Cent Bulletproof, which dropped on November of 2005. Bruh, this game was really the shit back in the day. Like, it was the coolest thing to play at the time. Everything about it was fire. The gameplay, the graphics was dope for the time, the music.
Dog, it's me, what's up?
50, I'm in fucking trouble, man. Can you meet me?
Tell me where you at.
50 Cent, the hardest motherfucker on the streets. A lot of niggas found that out the hard way.
It's a different kind of environment for you. How do you feel about it? Like,
I mean, I feel great. Having my video game be a big success
okay.
already is cool to come back and be a part of this with Game of Graphics. It's huge.
Can we be expecting like a second game that you're gonna put out?
Absolutely. Bulletproof 2.
What can we expect from it?
Oh, more excitement. And I mean, the video game, we'll take it to the next level with the things we can do.
Okay.
I actually want to explore the possibilities of having 2 people play the game at the same time.
Okay. If you could be a superhero, because E3 is about superheroes, what kind of special powers would you have?
Oh man, I'd be bulletproof.
No, you gotta give me another one. You can't get away with that one.
I'd be able to see through.
That was my thing for you. I was gonna say I'm gonna have X-ray vision. All right, so 50 has a lot of groupies out there right now, like yelling his name and stuff. So you do have a lot of groupie hoes, right? Sometimes.
Well,
what is the craziest thing? What is the craziest thing a girl has ever done with you?
Wow, I mean the craziest thing ever done with me.
You make me blush. Like trying to get your attention, should I say?
Well, I came in the hotel rooms while we were actually on tour, and there were already women in them, in the room. Like this one worked at the hotel.
Right.
And actually was in the room that we was booked to be in before we got in them.
Were they naked? Like they were just like, 50, come take me.
Yeah, it was in there, but you know, that's scary, ain't it?
It is kind of scary. How do you feel about that? Because you do get a lot of women. Like what kind of girls do you go for?
I don't know. I like the women I go for.
Yeah, but that's not helping me. Like, what is that? Really? Man, I might have to hit you up.
You be in the tutu.
I can teach you ice skating lessons. I used to figure skate.
You used to figure skate?
Yeah, so our Attack of the Show viewers really like you.
Oh, she hitting on me. She hitting on me.
No, I'm not.
She had to do that. She didn't have to do that. You saw that?
Wait.
What's that, baby?
These girls, these hoes. Wait, you gotta give me attention. I feel very neglected. I feel really neglected. So, this is kind of close. I'm getting nervous. Our viewers really want you on the show. Would you come for me and like hang out?
I'll come to the show, hang out.
Are you too cool for us? Like, are you too Hollywood for us?
I'm not cool. I'm really, really cool.
Like, what rapper do you know was killing it like 50, man? The soundtrack for this included a game disc too, called Not Rich, Still Lying, where he raps as if he was the game. It's pretty hilarious. In 06, Lloyd Banks would drop his second album, Rotten Apple. It was actually supposed to drop in 2005, but apparently he was having a little too much fun with these two girls at one of their places, and he ended up leaving his unmastered copy of his CD there. The album was scrapped, and soon after, Banks began working on Rotten Apple. The album features 50 on it on 3 different tracks, all pretty fire.
Put a part to your wage, half Christian, half killer, half man, half gorilla. Shawty, when you party with me, we going way back, score to the 3. I said hands up, 50 got the Mac. Spider got the sweeper, and he down the head clap. You won't have another birthday. After that, Yayo got a temper, and he don't know how to act. And I'm going to winter, but now a nigga back to get the money, the money, the money, the money, okay? And you motherfuckers looking like say what?
So, and they definitely ready for my new album, right? Yeah. And, you know, we've been working on that. I get a chance, I go to Detroit and work with them. Actually, the re-up, we recorded 4 records, but 3 of them I actually ended up on in like 2 days. In 2 days, and then the 4th one is actually on my album. I kept that. I said, nah, I can't get out of the way. I need to hold on to that one.
Yeah, the song we just performed, actually, 50 had a verse and a hook on it. He had just came into town, and I made the beat, and 50 just took the first beat I made, ran in the other room with it, and I don't know, 15 minutes later, came back, was like, yo, check this out. Put Yayo, had Yayo in the back, you know, hyping it up.
Eminem would drop a compilation album in late 2006 with 50 Cent on the cover, and he's on 3 different tracks.
Nah, M told him to kiss my black ass to clean parts, the shitty parts, my bullet wounds. The homie got clapped on, man, I don't care. The cops in my nana crib, but I'm not there. Who run it? You know they acting like it down now. You run it.
So let's talk about Nas again real quick, and how this beef finally came to an end. There would be a track that leaked from Nas in 05 called Don't Body Yourself, where Nas comes at 50.
They say Jada defeated him, Joe too street for him. What's next? I guess it's for Nas to ether him.
So they talk about family members, like I can't point out your grandma to niggas. Damn, you was my man like True Dog. Don't make me change your body frame to blue fog.
50 would finally respond on October 1st, 2005, when the G-Unit mixtape Back to Business would drop. On the track Just a Touch, 50 took shots at Nas.
On the radio, they saying me and you an item. Nas fall in love with me, I just like him.
And now in 2006, Nas was gearing up to drop his next album, Hip Hop Is Dead. Nas would sit down with Sway for an interview, and he was asked if he had any disses towards 50 on the album.
When you and Jay went at it, that kind of put a new kick in the game. Even when 50 was going at it with Ja, and everybody started going, you know, the dissing kind of served as, it kind of sparked a lot of interest.
Absolutely.
You know? And truth be told, from the days of Pac to Jay to 50, you've always had that kind of spark in your career, and you've always responded. On this album, is there any response to the recent disses that you've gotten from artists like 50 or Cam and Jim Jones and these guys? Are you gonna body a crew on this album?
Nah. See, the stuff that I do say, some things I'm struggling with. I'm trying to uplift the unity. So if I feed into it, we know what that is. You know, when I battled, that was one of the biggest, if not the biggest battle in rap music. So we know it gave them a whole platform to stand on. So they're standing on a platform I built. And in some of the disses, they're saying, you know, some of the stuff that I said. If you listen to Cam's thing, it was just pieces of ether put together, you know. So they're standing on a platform that I helped build. And so you have to make a certain amount of albums yet to be on in the ring with me. You have to have survived a lot. You know what I mean? You can't be an album or 2 albums, or you went platinum one time and you may have performed in front of 6,000 people twice in your life. You can't do that. That's not about. You gotta be, to get in the ring with me, you gotta be somebody in my weight class. You can't be, you know, you can't fight like that. So that's not really a battle. But there is spankings that I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like lyrical, verbal assaults that I could do on some of you clowns out there. But honestly, the take on this album is like really more of a unity thing. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really know. I don't really know at this moment right now if I'm going to let those records fly where I do answer a thing or two, but maybe not.
Okay, but you definitely got them in stock if you need them.
Yeah.
Later this year in September, G-Unit would drop their Hip Hop Is Dead mixtape, clearly a mock towards Nas. Just peep the intro.
Rest in peace to the poor Nas. Major look.
And a year later on 50's album Curtis, which we'll cover in more detail soon, he came at Nas on the track Fully Loaded Clip.
My Nas was telling Khalees I love you, boo. I was shining my 9, you know how I do.
When Nas dropped his Untitled album in 2008, on the intro track Queens Get the Money, Nas came at 50, mentioning how 50 said he would retire if he sold less than Kanye.
My assignment since he said retirement, hiding behind email and the chronic, get rich but dies rhyming.
In 2010, Nas and Khalees would go through a divorce where Nas owed a bunch of legal fees, child support, accounting expenses, all that to Khalees. 50 would drop a track called Old 2003 Ferrari, taking shots at Nas, referring to the expenses that Nas had to pay.
She aight for night, but don't keep her. Ask Nas, Khalees was the illest eater.
The beef would pretty much die down for a few years, and in the summer of 2014, during Nas's set, he would bring out 50. Legendary moment, man. The whole G-Unit at this point was back together too, besides the game. But yeah, we'll talk about that soon. It was dope to see 50 and Nas finally squash whatever beef they had. In 2006, 50 was thinking about signing someone new to G-Unit, so there was a man named Rodney Toole, aka Hot Rod, who was actually working as a mortgage broker and rapping on the side as a hobby. Hot Rod would send his homemade demo to 50 Cent's G-Unit office in hopes that the record label would sign him. After 50 heard the CD, he felt like Hot Rod's easy flow reminded him of his own.
It reminded me of me. Like I was listening to it going, yeah, did I do this? Like for a second, and he doesn't vocally sound exactly like me, but it sounds like something I would do, you know? And just because the way the chorus was on the record, it was like real melodic.
Hot Rod received a phone call at his day job while he was working, and it wasn't from any random G-Unit associate, but from 50 Cent himself. He had a studio session where 50 wanted to see what he could bring to the table, and the single Be Easy, featuring Mary J. Blige, would drop in the summer of that year.
And they acting all hard, all mean and macho. I'm earning these tips, so this cheese is nachos.
But unfortunately for him, the song completely flopped, bruh. It didn't get talked about and failed to even chart. 50 decided to give him another chance though, and didn't give up on him just yet. He was just dropped from Interscope that same year he was signed. Crazy. But in early 2007, 50 would make him his hype man. He would go on to take him on the road, and he ended up having a show in London with Hot Rod as his hype man. But yo, tell me how this dude Hot Rod really forgot the words to Wankster, bruh. What an L. Like, come on, bro. Really? Wankster? You deserve to get kicked off stage, bruh.
Be easy. Stop that bullshit and get your whole crew, man. We in the club doing the same old two-step. You the cop and say we bogged down. What the fuck? You ain't know that, nigga? How dare you, nigga?
The worst part is, nigga, the worst part was I fucked up on the hook.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean,
that was bad, man. He was saying, oh, Wankster, and it would just be blank, so it sounded hella stupid. Like it sounded like it was stupid. The mic tripping, you know what I'm saying? The mic, you know what I'm saying? Because He's walking by, he's like looking at me, right? Kind of like, you know, like, nigga, like what's happening? It's like the mic. So I was like, I need another mic. You know what I'm saying? To go back. They give me another mic. I'm like, yeah. Still fucking up though. Now I'm just spiraling downward, right? It was a bad situation. It was bad, right? I'm like, wow, I look hella stupid right now.
I got more whips than a runaway slave. Me and Yayo go back like some hot top things. When I made 50 mil, M got paid. When I made 60 mil, Trey got paid. When I made 80 mil, Jimmy got paid. I ain't even got the rap now. Life is bad. Said I ain't even got the rap. I'm filthy, man. Laughing straight to the bank with this. What? I'm laughing straight to the bank with this. Yeah. I'm laughing.
Good old 2007.
Face at WrestleMania on the line. Oh, the Undertaker. Wait a minute, you can't do that.
It was a good year. It was a good year. Nah, I'm lying. It was a great year.
That's some rough girls from Rutgers, man. They got tattoos and some hardcore hoes. That's some nappy-headed hoes there, I'm gonna tell you that now.
Okay, maybe not for everyone, but it was a great year nonetheless. Kobe was out here winning All-Star MVP, the movies were going crazy, games like Call of Duty 4, Mario Galaxy, Halo frickin' 3, Steve Jobs was out here literally changing the world as we know it today, the good old MySpace days. It was a good time, it was a good era. Bruh, and who could forget? In 2007, his MTV Cribs episode, he took over that entire episode. Classic.
Let me show you. This is Kanye West. Kanye West, to tell you, man. And here's 50 Cent. Kanye wants to say goodbye. Say goodbye, Kanye. Goodbye. And, you know, now we gotta go.
Before social media took over our lives, but when it comes to hip-hop, Soulja Boy was out here going crazy. And many would say that this was 50's last year in his prime, 50's last hurrah as the top dog in the game. And you could just feel it too. Hip-hop was in an interesting transitional period, and things would change drastically over the next few years. That top dog spot that 50 was starting to lose at this point started with this one rapper who was buzzing on an all-time level and was ready to take that spotlight away from 50. And that was none other than Lil Wayne. Weezy F Baby.
Smack DVD, I still smack in your motherfucking face.
What makes him even, listen, what makes him even legitimate conversation? How many records did his last record sell? Not this, is it interesting? Come on, tell me something interesting.
A million?
A million records. That makes him what? That makes us the same because we both rap. Does anybody who rap, does that put them all on the same level, or are they the same people?
As far as he's concerned, he's a hot topic conversation right now because he has a big buzz. I think that's probably why people.
What would consist of his buzz? Features, like a few features that he worked on.
That's definitely part.
And what else? Mixtapes. He wouldn't even be making a mixtape because I invented that. But there's no significance in that. When he freestyles on a mixtape, it's in song format because he's following my format. But they asked me about him like we're the same.
Yo, it's honestly crazy to look at that interview now in hindsight, knowing what we know now and how the tables completely turned for them just a year later and beyond musically. It was pretty easy for 50 to say this in 07 while he was still the hottest rapper out at the time. 50 would then go on to release a diss track called Part-Time Lover, and on that track, 50 would take shots at Wayne and Birdman. Bruh, it's kinda hilarious cause that was right after the picture of Wayne and Baby surfaced online of them kissing each other.
You make me wanna kiss you like Baby kiss Wayne, and make you call me daddy like Baby do Wayne. Damn, that shit sounds gay, it's insane. I guess that's the price the little pay for fame.
50 wouldn't stop there though. He would take shots at Wayne again on his next studio album, Curtis.
Was telling Wayne I love you, boo. She was just running games, she still walk that too.
And you know what, since we're on that topic, let's talk about the whole promo run for this album, bruh. Man, what a time. This was honestly one of the best marketing enigmas I've ever seen in hip-hop, putting two of the biggest artists at the time. And remember, Kanye at this point in time wasn't the Ye that we know of today. 50 was still red hot, putting out mostly gangsta music, while Kanye was out here innovating his style with records like Good Life, Stronger, and Can't Tell Me Nothing. But behind the scenes, they were both cool as hell. There was legit zero beef between the two. But the label set this matchup between the two so perfectly, putting them head to head on magazine covers. That 106 in Park moment, bruh, that whole episode was legendary.
Kanye hasn't said anything disrespectful or expressed any discomfort to the success I've been having, so it's not an actual beef. It's just being competitive, you know, as far as hip hop is concerned.
And we had to move the date back for the artwork alone. I said, let's just do 9/11. And he said, 50 got that date. I said, okay, let's go.
So let's go! Go we shall!
He brought his big brother with him, and his big brother ain't no competition for me. I feel like I'm at a point in my career that I'm Muhammad Ali right now. You know what I mean?
It just shows you how big this music is, and you take the two biggest rock stars in hip-hop right now, put them together, and we're gonna do numbers like you never seen before.
And having them release on the same day? And 50 was hella arrogant at this time. Kanye was more focused on changing the game and making a timeless album, not really sales driven. While 50 was all about just staying hot, being that dude, and the numbers. Kanye will ultimately beat 50 in album sales by a good amount. But let's not act like Curtis wasn't a solid album though.
If you wanna ride on the roller coaster, baby, come on and ride. Now Rick Ross did it, now throw it up, raise it up for that gangsta shit. Her money, she make it look at the way she shake it, make it want to touch it. Dig? I get it. Follow my lead, baby, I can be all you need if you follow my lead.
Don't even look at me wrong when I come through the hood.
And we gotta talk about Jimmy Henchman, who was the game's manager at the time. He actually tried to end 50 Cent's life on the music video shoot for I'll Still Kill. Here's Tony Yayo talking about it.
On the paperwork, and Henchman and them were supposed to come through, and I guess they gun jammed, but we had God on that side, and they backed out on the hit, but we had straps too.
You said they had silencers?
Yeah. Nobody seen them. They so-called was following a car. I don't know which car, because there was like 3-4 different cars. I guess they didn't know how to handle a weapon or something like that. It's in the paperwork. And the gun went off in the car. So as the gun went off in the car, I guess it jammed and they backed out of what they wanted to do. So, you know, God is good. I guess God was on our side at that time.
Young Buck would drop his Buck the World album this year too, which to me was pretty underrated.
Motherfucker, I got bread.
It won't be long for you dead. You can't hold on.
The lead single, Get Buck, still go crazy.
I'm a boss, I can make it rain. It's okay, we get buck, baby.
2008 was quite the year as well.
Yo, thanks, man. Pick 50 Cent off the floor, man. I tried doing a new Soulja Boy. Whatever you say, 50. I'm so fly.
In February of this year, the G-Unit mixtape, Return of the Body Snatchers, would drop.
I put the seat back when we rollin'. I let the system dump when we coastin'. This is that Porsche GT shit, that Baltimore G shit. Niggas try to front, we move on them. Run upside the witch, squeeze the rug on them.
In fact, this is where the Fat Joe and 50 Cent beef would ignite again. And on the track I'm Leavin', 50 goes directly at Fat Joe.
I watch Rap City. I see this fat Joe up there frontin'. Don't nobody like this. This whack, son. And Jay Holiday's a new nigga. And he's making this shit hot. Niggas really don't want to hear your fat ass. This is whack, son. Tell you straight up, nigga.
Fat Joe would respond to this a month later.
Hey, yo, man, these just some funny niggas that ain't got nothing else to do with themselves, man. This came out today. It's March 2nd, man. I'm in Texas right now. Corpus Christi got a show tonight. Did Funkmaster Flex car show yesterday. I'm looking beautiful. You see this shit here? I give the beats. Yo, Curtis, I give the beats. You in the Neverland Ranch over there in Connecticut can't come out your fucking house playing with these internet shit, man. Papoose, please, man. I get the beats, man. I ain't losing fights since junior high, man. You crazy. When I come to New York, I'm going up on the radio. We gonna address everything. It's gonna be real. Hey, yo, my y'all some funny niggas. March 2nd, this Coca. Look how beautiful I look. Matter of fact, I'm skinny. That's a picture I took a year ago at the Knick game, my nigga. A year ago. I actually lost weight since then. I look way more handsome. By the way, March 11th, album in stores, Elephant in the Room. It's Coca, baby. And guess what, Curtis? We just shipped another 250,000 just because of you. You making me hot, baby. 50dis.com, I love it. You making me hot. Get at me, Coca, nigga. $250,000 to the chest, pussy.
That same month, Fat Joe would drop his album The Elephant in the Room, and on the same day, 50, being the troll that he is, dropped the G-Unit mixtape Elephant in the Sand.
He don't need to speak Spanish, he a fraud. He don't really want drama, he a fraud. See that cannon, oh Lord. Believe this, man. This fat nigga talking about you want to fight. I'll f your ass up, yo. Yeah.
Fat Joe would go on to sell around 46,000 copies first week, while the G-Unit mixtape had at least 400,000 downloads. And I get it, I know pure album sales holds a lot more weight, but you know how 50 is. He took this opportunity to clown Fat Joe so hard, bruh. It's honestly one of the funniest videos that you'll see today.
Hey, what's up, yo? This is 50 Cent. Fat Joe just passed away. SoundScan came out. He sold like 46,000 copies. And now DJ Khaled is almost finished. He's done. Whole thing is over. Hey, what's up? Yo, it's your kid 50 Cent. The results are in. Elephant in the Sand wins by a landslide. You understand what I'm saying to you? 400,000 copies downloaded. When this is 50.com, a staggering 220,000 copies downloaded directly there. You ain't got to believe me. You can actually go check yourself and see it. It's a fact. You understand what I'm saying? And Elephant in the Room, Fat Joe's project, actually scanned 46,000 copies, which is actually terrible. Like, it's the worst shit you can actually do. That's when you know you're not relevant. When you got new artists like Ricky Ross, the boss is out there looking real good, coming in there. It's the #1 album. Right there, he's from that same little pocket out there in Miami, but he shouldn't stand next to that fat piece of shit, because you know how I get. You know how I get, right? Yeah, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna keep this, short, sweet, so y'all know exactly how I feel about the situation. I think this is really bad for him. Like, I think that in the space that he's in right now, that it won't ever create material that makes him relevant. You see what I'm saying? Every album that they put out, one song is good. The rest of the shit is just trash, so it ain't worth buying no damn CD. And you gonna go on the air with Angie Martinez on Hot 97 and say, if you're Puerto Rican and you don't buy my CD, shame on you. You know, he want the Puerto Ricans to buy a CD. Talking about, I go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade every year. If you Puerto Rican and you don't buy my CD, shame on you. You heard that rat ass on the tape. I played it to you back so you can remind you what the fuck he was saying. You see what I'm saying? Word, man. You can tell, you can see when it's authentic. You know the difference. You know what I'm saying? It ain't stupid.
This next video that 50 put out, bruh, classic. 50 saying that the album is so bad, it put him in the hospital.
Listen to it. It hurt me. Oh God,
What's up? Yo, this is 50 Cent.
I just want to thank everybody for showing their support and all the get well messages I got on this50.com. Yesterday, I listened to Fat Joe's record, it hurt me. And I told you people not to listen to his music. It's terrible. I mean, Fat Joe's record is the worst thing ever happened to hip-hop. And it hurts bad because I love hip-hop. I don't know what else to say. I mean, everywhere it's just happening all over the place. It is because his music sucks so bad. It's gonna kill people. Don't listen to it. Please. Please.
Coca, man, you the only one fighting 50 back, man. What's good with that, man?
I don't understand, because the nigga never shot a fair one with nobody in his life. Never, or he been stabbed and shot and ratted, and I don't understand. That just tells you how the rest of the industry is, you know what I mean? So, it is what it is with me. He pussy, it is what it is. I told him over 10,000 times, tell me where, my nigga, we go just, we can end this off, man. We just can knuckle up. I hear him on his mixtape, oh, this fat nigga wanna fight, fuck that nigga. Nigga, you pussy, you know I know you pussy, man. That's what it is, man. It is what it is, man. He pussy, I know he pussy. I was standing right there, had nothing to do with me. He can't take it back. I was standing in the Vibe Awards, I watched the little nigga punch Dr. Dre in the face, and I watched 50 and all them niggas run, man. They seen Suge Knight stand up and they all ran and them niggas never came back. They can't take that back, man. They can't. I was standing right there, man. I witnessed the shit, had nothing to do with me. I'm sitting right here, these niggas ran. I'm like, oh my God, these niggas is pussy.
This beef would go silent until in 2012 when Chris Lighty unfortunately passed away. They had a tribute show for him, and they had 50 Cent and Fat Joe perform back to back, and they were backstage at the same time.
There wouldn't be no this neither.
Yup.
What a team!
Fat Joe talked about this in an interview.
They said do this award show for Chris Lighty, and I was like, let's go, you know. And they was like, hey, and they said his name lightly, and I was like, all right, because as men, the last thing I'm thinking is, I in no way was trying to be 50 Cent's friend.
Right.
You know, I had feelings. You know, I really had some, like, you know, I don't think now at this point in time too, it was a perfect time. You know, at the beginning, I thought somebody was going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought so too. I would have bet on it.
1,000,000%, 1 quadrillion%, because I know we was jumping out the window. And if they were going to jump out, they were going to jump out the window too. So I was like, all right, cool. So we going to pay homage to Chris Lighty. Me, the respectful dude that I am, I'm going to be in my best behavior to go pay respects. I really don't want to be around 50 Cent. I don't want to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somehow they put us performing back to some weird something that, you know, but when he came, you know, we in the trailer's right in the front. I don't even know if they set us up to pop off or something, right? So, I don't want to say nothing that doesn't salute 50 Cent, but you know, he approached us with peace. That's it. There's no other way I could explain.
Which is crazy because he just got into an altercation with Gunplay.
No, but after too, like, I don't understand this guy. I was thinking maybe he was forming a new he's peaceful, and then they get into it. 3 minutes later, I say, yo, this guy's nuts, man. You don't want no peace, man, right? I thought this was the UN summit, right?
Right.
So he just came out the gate. Yo, peace. It's all peace, please. Not to me. I was in the thing, and I was like, yeah, yo, for Chris Lighty, right? And then he bumps into another one of my guys. Yo, Pistol, Chris Lighty, it's all love. This, that. You tell Joe, love. So I'm like, you know, 50 Cent's crazy, right?
You didn't trust it?
No way in a million lifetimes, right? And then so I go on stage and we do the rehearsal, and then somehow we end up next to each other. Like I perform, he performed, which by the way, that was one of the dopest tributes on the planet Earth. He deserved that. And then he just pulled his hand out and he was like, yo, peace, man. Chris Lighty, man, what's up? And I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? What you want to do? I'm not an abuser. I'm not it's peace. And from now on, it's peace.
Have you spoken to him since?
It's peace, man. You know what I'm saying? I gave him my word. Yo, it's all good. And then we move on, you know, with life, you know, as men. He does his thing, I do my thing. That's the way it's supposed to be.
It's like we're not friends, but we have no beef with each other. We good.
I have no beef, no ill feelings, no nothing with 50 Cent.
That's great that you can do that.
Nowadays, they're best of friends.
That is the score. Let's go.
Around this time, 50 Cent and G-Unit was gearing up to drop their next studio album together, Terminate on Sight.
I'm supposed to blow, you supposed to know, not to go against me or it's R.I.P.
Fuck the police and kill Sean Bell. Fuck the feds, I still deal bitch down.
Nigga, you so tough until your heartbeat stop. The trade pound pop, your artery shot.
And the lead single, Rider Part 2, best believe that was one of those songs. And fun fact, that song was actually on the Elephant on the Sand mixtape first.
Whoa.
And during the time of the rollout of this album, 50 Cent would kick Young Buck out of the crew, live on the air. But even though he was no longer in the group G-Unit, he was still signed to G-Unit as a solo artist. 50's a real one for that.
Young Buck is no longer in the group G-Unit, but signed to G-Unit as a solo artist.
Wow.
Okay.
You remember when I first got kicked out of G-Unit, I told y'all Young Buck was the next to go. Long time ago, man. Long time ago. At the end, it's only gonna be Tony Yayo and 50. Banks gonna go too, man.
If I could ask Buck one question, I would ask him, what's wrong with him?
Dissension in the ranks. As a new album from G-Unit finally emerges, press surrounding the project is fixated on one thing: a member gone AWOL. Though Southern rapper Young Buck will appear on 4 tracks of the upcoming Terminate on Sight album, General Jackson says the buck stops there.
But for me, removing him from the group is healthier for the group.
Over time, the G-Unit brotherhood has grown apart. Last year, Young Buck appeared on Talk Radio discussing Tony Yayo's then ongoing court case.
How do you go on the radio and talk about my case that I'm still going to court for? And you're saying you basically were saying that I'm guilty of smacking a child, which I got found not guilty for.
Then last month, Buck made public accusations that he wasn't receiving his just dues.
His statements about not receiving his royalties came out. You know, like...
Was that the defining moment for you?
One of them.
In an outfit known for its unquestionable loyalty, the motives behind Buck's rebellion aren't known. But the remaining original members of G-Unit had their theories.
He doesn't think clear, very clear. You see what I'm saying? Because he has things to help him not think clear.
Yeah, I had my hands and nose in the deep.
If you sniff cocaine, pop pills, scissor, and weed, where you think your money's gonna go? And you're not gonna make the right decisions. I mean, you know, 50 gave Buck plenty of chances, you know what I'm saying, to come back in the crew and embrace us, and we treated him like family. Or 50 didn't help you get your mother a house, get yourself a house, help you get your Bentley, help you get your first Escalade, help you get your first Jacob watch, help you get your YB piece, help you get your hair braided, help your daughter eat. He helps you do everything. Only reason why I wouldn't say anything to really disrespect him is because 50 got so much love for him.
But for 50 and crew, tough love is the only way forward.
You know, if a person is in a bad space and you keep trying to help them out of it, and they're not, you know, changing their lifestyle or the things that they're doing, then you just remove yourself from it.
I've been around Buck for the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I love Buck like a brother. You know, it's just that, you know, even my blood brother, we go through things and might not talk for a minute.
Would you like to see Buck back in G-Unit?
I mean, I didn't like to see him leave. But sometimes people can hurt you when they don't realize that they're hurting themselves at the same time.
Smile. Enjoy the rest of the video set.
Yes, there's still lots for Yayo, 50 and Banks to be happy about. They just shot back-to-back videos for the first 2 singles of TOS. MTV News was there.
You hear me?
I'm wrong.
This is 50.com.
The nigga just get confused.
During this year, MTV would make the hottest MCs in the game list, and they would put Lil Wayne as #1. 50 questioned this as to why they gave Wayne that #1 spot, saying, "Hey yo, Yayo, man, why they don't got 50 Cent #1, man?" "I don't know, 50, but G, you nah. Thanks, Fifth. Battery Paul." "Hey yo, Banks, man, what I told you about the 50 Cent on the floor, man?" "My bad, 50. Yeah, man. Why they got Wayne #1, man?" "I don't know, 50, but I know we still on fire." Yo, I gotta chill, bruh. You got other artists that are there that haven't even made their own records. The #1 artist, tell me his first single off his last album. Interviewer does not know. How you #1 and no one knows the record? Woo! Then Wayne would respond, but it was more of a compliment than a diss, saying, "Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. I ain't fucking with 50. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He too high up there for me. You know what I'm saying?" Nah, let me stop. He said, "That shit's crazy, man. I ain't fucking with 50. He too high up there. I can't even deal with none of that. That's my dude, though. I respect that my name even come out the homie's mouth. No homo. I respect him. I just took it as a compliment. I'd never go back at 50. That dude's a trillionaire. I'm trying to get there, homie. I'm smart. I ain't dumb." But Wayne would backpedal this, and on his mixtape The Drought Is Over Part 6, he comes at 50 on the song Louisianimal.
Lil Weezy and the Coward. I go harder. All about $1. 2 quarters. Bitch, I pour syrup in that vitamin water. I hope you die ugly and tonight will be gorgeous.
50 would hear this, and a few months later in 2009, he would make a track called Play This on the Radio.
And I'm on your heels, Mr. Carter. You want me to die ugly? Okay.
A little after that, he would make a track called Officer Ricky, Go Ahead and Try Me.
Where you at, Wayne? You the full course meal, Wayne. You awfully quiet. You call him out, going down out. I got my work just out. You gotta get past me to get to him.
A couple months later, he would drop a video called The Warning Shot, where he threatened DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, which we'll get into that beef soon. But he also ends up playing a guitar, saying that he's getting ready to drop his rock album. It was clearly a mock to Wayne, since Wayne was about to drop his Rebirth album.
Hey, what's up? Alright, y'all caught me. I was practicing for my new rock and roll album. Nah, I ain't gonna have no rock and roll album.
A little bit later, there would be a posthumous Pimp C song with a Wayne feature on it, where Wayne comes at 50.
That pimp called me before we left this bitch. Told me keep doing your thing and don't tell 50 shit.
In the summer of this year, 50 would drop a song called Cream 2009 off his new project War Angel EP, coming at Wayne.
Man, I can't fit in with these man. I mean, niggas got mohawks. They wearing skinny jeans, man. I think these fakes, man. For real, man. They with the Rainbow Club, man.
This beef would pretty much go silent until 2011, where 50 would drop a song called Love, Hate, Love.
Confused, acting like a white boy bored. Now you wanna jump a flight of stairs on a skateboard. Why the f your pants so tight? You trying to show niggas
blast your ass, your alternative life.
But after that in 2012, 50 and Wayne would squash their beef, as they were seen walking with Floyd Mayweather down the ring, and they would eventually become cool. This beef wasn't really anything serious, just some competition, as 50 was clearly getting tight at Wayne taking his spot. 2008 was also the year that 50 would drop his next big single, Get Up.
I'm getting money, man, I really don't care. Let me see you put your hands in the air. I say get up.
It was supposed to be the lead single for his next album, Before I Self-Destruct, but it ended up just becoming a loosey single. It still ended up charting though and peaked at number 44 on the billboards.
Officer Ricky! Damn, Rick. Why you got me up in this motherfucker, man? Is it because I said you and your mama look like the Clumps?
In January of 2009, Rick Ross would take direct shots at 50 on a song called Mafia Music, where he was referencing how 50 wanted his baby mama to pay rent in the house she was living in that 50 bought. And 50 allegedly burned his own house down instead of giving her any bread while she was at the crib. This all started because at the BET Awards, Rick Ross and DJ Khaled claimed that they didn't like the way 50 Cent was looking at them. And just 5 days later, 50 responded with the diss track that I showed you from before where he came at Wayne, Officer Ricky Go Ahead Try Me.
It must have thought he knocked me out like Kimbo. We're going to be a lips breath stronger than Indo. Fat playing we fit Nintendo. Have another tattoo, here's another tattoo. Run into my goons soon, have new bullet wounds. Officer Ricky, radio for backup. See ass anyway, you know I'm gonna act up. You wanna play with me when I don't wanna play? Have my whip the skin off your ass in broad day. Screaming boss, nigga, you ain't a boss.
The next day, Rose would call into Angela Yee's radio show saying that the diss track was weak and he's gonna give 50 48 hours to come with something better than that. The next day, 50 would drop that video where I showed you before where he was playing the guitar, Warning Shots. He would go directly at Ross, saying he's gonna F his whole life up.
Well, I got your attention, I might as well talk to you, right? This morning I heard an interview that Rick Ross called in, had an interview, you know, but what was interesting is she asked him like where this shit came from or like what he said. She came out of the clear blue sky to me. I didn't know what the the nigga was talking about when I heard it. And then what he said was so whack that I didn't even know if it was meant it or he was like, you know what I mean, some sideways shit. So anyway, she asked him where it came from, and he said from the BET Awards. Now I ain't never had a conversation with these. I don't know these. I know your name. I seen your video. Other than that, we ain't got no business together. We ain't got no reason to even be talking to each other, right? So I think that it's an opportunity to create energy or like a excitement for the actual release of a record. And I understand that it may be more attention than you usually get, but it'll be the kind of attention that when it goes away, you go away completely. Like there's nothing else left for your ass. You complete it. Done. You know, and your company, the system might actually feel like it's a good idea for the moment until they realize that I won't stop. There's nobody in control of me. Like, I do what I want to do. I'm deciding to f*** your life up. Rick, I'm gonna f*** your life up. For fun. There's a few times. This is not new. I do this all the time. Like, I got a list of up. I'm gonna f*** your shit up. You know what I mean? Because I know, I can already see from here, from where I'm at, that this is a total fraud. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even no issue. But I paid for the transcripts to your court case, just in case. I really didn't want to know the court, that actual family court shit. I really wanted your address. You see me at the BET Award, you see me by myself. Everybody at the BET Awards saw me. I don't even remember seeing this. This the illest shit is, I don't even remember, like, in passing. Like, you so unimportant that I don't even remember walking past the nigga or anything. Shit's crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna f*** your shit up. Now I know you. I know so much new information about you that I think it's fair to say I know you now. And everybody else will know you real soon. you get a chance to see some interesting shit. I know your name was Teflon. I know you was sleeping on Greg Street couch, trying to get a deal at Swap House. I just know you're a bum, like fucking bum. You know what I mean? So you're gonna really understand how resourceful I am. You know, and you're gonna see what happens when someone comes from the environment and absorbs all of the new information. I'm going to Venezuela today, and when I get back, I'm gonna finish. I got a few songs that I gotta mix. I'm in the studio with Eminem and Dr. Dre right now, and when I'm done with that, I'm gonna continue fucking your life up. And Cal is a faggot too. He's a faggot, B. Suckers. Suckers. I see him at the BET Awards. That's funny. Like, I remember seeing Khaled, but I don't remember seeing Rick Ross at all. He told me he gave me a pass. Well, don't give me no pass, man. I don't deserve passes. I'm a fucked up nigga. You should do something to me. You understand what I'm saying? Because niggas send mixed messages. You know? But now that I got your address, if we go there, we'll be on your doorstep, Ricky. We can make it, you know, the way it's supposed to be. Like, good. I know you know Noriega, the real Noriega. Oh, shit. Ricky's friends outside. You hit him? There they go. Oh, man. Ricky's crew. He said he got a $2 million crew in New York City. He was talking about the NYPD.
50 would then follow that up with a cartoon series dissing Rick Ross, and he even dropped a video interviewing Rick Ross's baby mom. Nah, that's crazy.
I want to introduce you to everybody. Say hi. Say it.
Hello, hi, I'm Tia, the mother of Rick Ross's son. Here I am, here's my story. I mean, it's sort of embarrassing to me, you know, because as you listen to his raps, you would definitely believe him, but I mean, it was surprising that he would sit there and say he spends $200 a month on food, $300 a month on clothes. His jewelry is rented.
Cause I go where these other can't go. $2 million worth of jewels on.
You know, possibly not real. His cars are being leased. He don't know where the money came from to put a down payment on a $1 million home. And, you know, it's just sad, you know, and I just want to prove the facts today here on This Is 50. It's all real, coming from Tia.
Let me ask you a question. Did you know Rick while he was working in law enforcement?
He was a correction officer.
So we're clear he was a correctional officer?
Yes, he was. I moved in with him when I found out I was pregnant with William III. And basically cleaning up the home, and so happens to find handcuffs and letters showing that he stepped down from the position. And I asked him about it. You know, of course he denied it, which his sister confirmed it and told me that he was a correction officer, and you know, that's what it was.
Look at this. Boy 50, this is not the day like this is Rick Ross and his mom. See, his mom look like the Nutty Professor.
Rick Ross would come back with a diss track called Kiss My Pinky Ring.
You's a monkey, you orangutan, locked up, yeah, I heard they call you Changalang, undercover it's like homo, no steam, Jimmy got you doing promo.
A website would then be created called thisiscurly.com, mocking 50's website thisis50.com, where Ross would post disses towards 50 while promoting his album. And Rick Ross would take it a little further when he would Photoshop 50 Cent's son on a monkey's body. Now 50 would get Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo involved, with a diss track called I'll Be the Shooter.
38, 32 rounds, you got a pound. Start me, I'll never stop. I'm laying at your mama's spot. Squeeze to the llama, hey, some drama. I cause heavy, come in my vicinity. Mother police officer, enemy.
50 would then drop a bunch of videos called the Pimpin' Curly series, dissing Rick Ross. Straight comedy, man. When 50 wants to be a troll, I don't think anyone can do it better than Fifth. Rick Ross would then drop a diss track called Push 'Em Over.
Damn, you read it on Cream. Damn, you read it on Queens. Lloyd Banks, your career's over. In the South, you know you can suck it. That's why we're with you. You said suck it. We Watch your empire crumble before your face.
On February of this year, 50 Cent would drop an alarming video called A Psychic Told Me, where he would send his goons to record DJ Khaled's crib and the clothing store where his mom works at, even having footage of his mom sleeping on the job, stalking her while creepy music is playing in the background. 50 is wild for this one.
Y'all got this little poem I wrote for DJ Khaled. Check this shit out, right? It's called I Just Want to Tell You What a Psychic Told Me. Your car tires got stabbed out. Now you know, I know where you be. I just want to tell you what a psychic told me. I know where your mama house at. Now look, you can see. But I just want to tell you what a psychic told me. I know where your mama work at. Now look at her, sleep. I just want to tell you what a psychic told me. I'm not the kind of you should fuck with, B. I'm special. I have less compassion than the average human.
Sheesh, that boy 50 crazy. The next day, 50 would drop another diss track called Tia Told Me.
Rap nigga. I'm back, baby, I'm back. Shut the f up.
That same day, Banks would drop his own diss track Coming at Ross. And bruh, I remember when this song dropped. I was bumping this every day. Banks really bodied Ross on this one.
The shades you whip been blinding you. Everyone knows what I'ma do. Everyone knows I'm liable for.
Rick Ross would drop a song called What Goes Around Comes Around coming at 50.
I can see his funeral. 20/20 vision, bullet hole like a hula hoop. Ain't too many missing. He a dildo done. Never squeeze an arm. Niggas die young like that where I'm from.
And a week later, Tony Yayo would drop a diss track of his own, threatening Rick Ross's life.
I never had drama with the cops, but I Larry Davis, Rick Ross with the clocks. Your life is fabricated. What bricks you moving? Honey E-class, I'm known for shooting. I just spoke to Shaw Money, Shaw spoke to Mac and Zoe. Rick Ross, hell no, he po-po.
Rick Ross would respond to this with a snippet called Head of Florida coming at 50. And after that, shit really got crazy. 50 got hold of a video of Rick Ross's other baby mom from her former boyfriend, and in March, he released a 13-minute long adult film of his baby mom's Lastonia, with 50 Cent actually doing a whole voiceover throughout the video. And to be honest, this is probably the reason why 50 and Ross still don't see eye to eye to this day.
To this day!
A month later, Rick Ross would drop a remix to Mafia music, which featured Fat Joe, Ja Rule, and The Game, all of 50's enemies.
Who stack cheddar better than the rat killer? That nigga that bust gets quicker.
50 wouldn't respond, so he would continue to go at 50 with another track.
Whack Yayo caught him slipping while he snort dust. Cold blood bullet hit him like a tour bus.
After that, 50 didn't respond again. The beef would go silent until in November of 2009, 50 was not playing when he brought Rick Ross's son and his baby mom's Tia to Floyd Mayweather's house. Surprisingly though, Rick Ross wouldn't respond to that. That was until February of 2010 when Lastonia, Rick Ross's baby mom, filed a lawsuit against 50 for emotional distress, unauthorized use of her name or image for posting that video online because 50 didn't blur her face out. Fast forward to October of 2011, Rick Ross would suffer 2 seizures, and when 50 was asked about that, he said, yeah, he gotta take care of himself. Rick Ross would go on to say that if 50 was being honest in that interview, then he appreciates that, and he even thanked him. Just a week later though, when 50 was interviewed by MTV, he mentioned how this whole thing with Rick Ross was a battle and not a beef, and took nothing personal. So it kinda seemed as if that was it. The beef was squashed. In September of 2012, during the BET Awards, a member of Rick Ross's crew MMG and 50's entourage got into a little fight as they were leaving. 50 and his crew jumped gunplay and snatched his MMG chain. This was all caught on camera. World star shit. Bruh, Yayo's even a hype man during fights.
nigga. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Back up. I got him. Hey, watch out, Yayo.
Got that shit?
Nigga, I got that
Yo,
shit.
who was that, 50 fighting?
Yo, we're 50 fighting too. Word? Yeah.
A couple weeks later, 50 was spotted bowling with the chain on, bruh. Savage.
What's that? What's that, man?
In January of 2013, Rick Ross was driving when somebody shot at his car, causing him to crash into an apartment building. And 50 would go to Twitter to clown Rick Ross, saying, "Ha ha ha, fat boy hit the building? It looks staged to me. No holes in the car." Okay, it was just firecrackers, but whoever lit them in trouble, cause that man damn near had a heart attack. Ha ha ha, that boy was spooked. I ride like Obama, level 6, bulletproof, bomb-proof, you already know. 50 is not playing. So I guess this beef was once again reignited. In November of 2013, Ross was on The Breakfast Club saying how the beef with 50 was all buffoonery and that he don't take anything personal. But 50 wouldn't respond to this at all, until in March of 2014, he posted this on his Instagram. Of Diddy and Rick Ross looking like they about to kiss, bruh. It was quickly deleted, but come on. You know the internet is undefeated. In the summer of 2015, something would happen where this beef pretty much, yeah, it's literally never gonna end. In July, 50 was ordered to pay $5 million, bruh, to Rick Ross's baby mom, Lastonia, for that leaking of the video. 50 was found guilty for violating her privacy rights. And you already know 50 was tight and thinks that this was all Rick Ross's fault, cause he's the reason he even leaked that in the first place. So you already know 50 always got something up his sleeve, and he's slick with it. So not too long after that, 50 would file for bankruptcy, and we all know 50 ain't broke, but he would find loopholes in order to get out of paying Rick Ross's baby mom. Later that month, Rick Ross dropped a track called Wingstop Remix, and he took shots at 50 trying to push the narrative that 50 is broke.
50 financial woes, I never speak of them. Years ago, pimpin' curly, we know we eat to them.
But listen to this though, just 2 days later, 50 was ordered to pay an extra $2 million. And after all that, 50's revenge plan would take place when Rick Ross and his bodyguard were accused of forcing his groundkeeper Jonathan into the gatehouse and allegedly pistol whipping him and locking him in a room. In September of 2015, a new lawsuit would be placed against Rick Ross for misguide that he allegedly did all of that, but Ross would claim that 50 had ties with them and that he didn't do anything, which could be true since weeks prior, 50 posted a pic with that same dude Jonathan with the caption saying, "This is my friend Jonathan. He was kidnapped and assaulted. He has chipped teeth from being pistol whipped. I can't imagine how bad that hurt. Wait, I bet it hurts like being a CO/rapper in jail. This is not me. Now you pay." 50 was out here making chess moves against Ross, because what Ross was saying was that 50 got Jonathan to sue Ross for allegedly assaulting him. No one truly knows if this happened, but it was 50's way of getting the money back that he lost from the lawsuit from Ross's baby mom. 50 definitely is never trying to take any losses. The next month, Ross sat down with Angie Martinez and said, "Get rich or die trying, and now you bankrupt." 50 would go back at him on Instagram with a post of a t-shirt of Rick Ross's body on it. Then Ross would respond saying 50's son will be interning at MMG. In November of 2015, Ross was attending the grand opening of a brand new Wingstop in New York, and 50 knew that was going down, so he pulled up, and apparently Rick Ross fled the scene. 50 would then take a picture of the Wingstop, post it on his Instagram with the caption saying, "A fat chicken selling chicken. Them people know you got an ass whipping coming. LOL." Later that year in December, Rick Ross dropped his album Black Market, and it sold 34,000 copies first week. 50 would then clown his album sales in an interview with P. Dice.
Just came through. Yeah, just fifth. 34,000. Sheesh.
Is that a rock or brick?
Oh, you talking about Rick Ross's album?
Is that a rock?
Rick Ross, you talking about Rick Ross's? That's, oh my God.
34.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Rick Ross's album.
34,388 copies, and you know they went and bought some.
Oh, so you saying the label bought Rick Ross's album?
No, you know he had to buy some. Anybody would have panicked.
Oh,
you saw the number trending, like you would. So you was trending 20.
Oh my God.
It was a little rough. It's like
How much you think Ross bought, yo?
Half of that, right?
Yeah, that's about 15,000.
He bought 15,000 albums.
2 weeks later, it was reported that 50 was trying to sue Ross for $2 million for using the In the Club instrumental to make his own remix.
December 4th, Young Denzel.
A couple weeks later, Ross told Rolling Stone that he's the biggest L that 50 ever took. 50 would respond on Instagram of a hyena with a deer's head in its mouth, and the caption said, "When it's all said and done, I will have his head. I said I was gonna talk less and do more this year. Watch it play out." 50 would eventually pay off his debts and get his bread back that he lost from the lawsuit from other lawsuits when he sued his lawyers and an SMS audio lawsuit which gained him nearly $20 million. Bro, he really finessed the court system and got all his money back somehow. Fast forward to 2020, Rick Ross would actually win the lawsuit that 50 filed against him for using the song In the Club. And a year later, in August of 2021, Ross did an interview where he said that he won the beef with 50, and he even said that 50 isn't valuable in music anymore. A few months later, Ross would come at 50 again, where he exposed how much 50 allegedly made from his show BMF, saying, "Man, I saw the first episode. I was just trying to support the homie Meech, the dudes in the street. I could put my issues with 50 to the side. I know he may have made $250,000 off the whole season. I'm happy he made that quarter." And when he said that, the interviewer started laughing. Then Ross said, "You know that's what he made. Why you laughing like that? And make sure you put these details in." Then he continued to say, "I'll never let you interview me again if you take it out. Keep it. But look, I know he made $250K off the whole season, and that's good. Tell him I said congratulations." He would also claim that a versus battle with 50 would be light work.
That's one. What?
Damn, I know me personally, that would be fun to watch, I can't front. But when he said this, his album Richer Than I Ever Been was on the way, and it was projected to sell 30,000 first week. A lot of his fans felt like he was being corny for this and clout chasing, and since then, these two have yet to make amends. And to be honest, I doubt they ever will. Let's take it back to 09 though.
50 cents!
Oh, I brought you a gift.
Oh, you got a gift from me?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's my new fragrance, Power.
Oh, hier, Parfüm, der feine Herr. So you're a real businessman now. It's
Absolutely.
Not only about music. You have your fashion line. You have perfume. What does it smell like? Can I taste?
It smells like success.
It smells like success.
Yeah.
You use it?
Yeah, in fact, I got me a bottle right here.
How does wie
I keep it with me just in case I gotta, make myself smell.
Oh.
In the beginning of that year, 50 would drop one of his most underrated hits, in my opinion, with I Get It In.
Now me, I get it in. I get it in. Me, I get it in.
It still charted though, but unfortunately he wouldn't end up putting it on his album. Not too long after that, Eminem was gearing up to drop his comeback album Relapse and released his lead single Crack a Bottle with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent, which actually went #1 on Billboard.
And ladies love us, my posse's kicking up dust. It's on to the break of dawn and we're starting this party from dusk.
Anything but the party with me is what we into it. It's simple. We ball out of control like you wouldn't believe.
Man, I remember the whole build up to Before I Self-Destruct. It was delayed numerous times. It was supposed to be his third album actually.
Before I Self-Destruct was the title that I selected. I actually came up with the concept for this album before I released my third album. In between, like after my second album, I started playing with Before I Self-Destruct as a concept, and I started the Curtis project. And I ended up putting Curtis out because my grandfather is Curtis Sr., his firstborn is Curtis Jr., and I'm his first grandchild, which makes me Curtis James Jackson III. Because it was my third album, I felt like it'd be perfect, and I tried to have music that matched human emotions on the actual album creatively. Before I Self-Destruct has more imperfections than any project that I've released to this point. It has descriptions of my defects of character. I'm in a secure enough space to write those things. To give you an example, on Hate It or Love It, coming up I was confused my mommy's kissing a girl. Confusion occurs coming up in the cold world. When I wrote that, I wasn't sure the public actually wanted to hear those things from me, so I placed it on Game's album instead of my album to kind of test it out to see what it felt. And it was a big hit, so it made me confident enough to write other things that I hadn't thought about actually putting in the material. Obviously, I put out two albums worth of material on the mixtape circuit waiting to release this album. War Angel.
I love niggas. I do my homework, I find niggas. I done been around the world 6 times. A bad bitch in every part of the world's been mine. Yeah. I just got back from the UK, but I'm going back to the UK. Yeah. I just bought a flat in the UK.
You just got back, baby, today?
Yeah.
And Forever King.
Bitch, I can't sleep. Niggas trying to get me, man. Give me my heat. Put one under my pillow, one under my seat. Close your eyes, see the shooters, see the money in the bag, see the D's in the unmarked on a nigga ass, see 62 on the plate when niggas bag up.
We were so happy together when we first met.
So happy,
I need to slow down a little bit with the material that I offer them for free. I think they're becoming spoiled a little bit by hearing the material, and if I didn't offer that, there was nothing there that embodied the aggression necessary to get by in the environment that I grew up in. The inner cities there, that lifestyle would make them anticipate what I have to offer now. When people have an opportunity to really listen to Before I Self-Destruct, they'll compare it to Get Rich or Die Trying and actually say it's better than Get Rich or Die Trying. Because what I was doing on Get Rich was putting my experience in a nutshell.
Then it was gonna be early 2008, then mid, then late, just kept getting pushed back further and further. We would then get another single for the album, Okay You're Right, which I thought was decent.
What they say about me doesn't make me mad. No.
But the biggest hit that would end up off this album was Baby by Me with Neo, which I thought was a cool love song.
Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby.
The next single to be released from it was Do You Think About Me, another smooth track from 50. It was aight.
You think about money when you think about me, huh? That's why my ex.
The most underrated song on here to me though is either Psycho with Eminem, which I think is one of Eminem's hardest verses,
Man, these are average raps. I'm keeping the savage batch hidden, the can of bass.
and the song Stretch.
The joke is dead, so for now until forever, you're stuck with the kid.
The album received mostly mediocre scores and sold 160,000 copies first week, debuting at number 5. He even made a whole movie too to go along with the album under the same name. And he wasn't done there. He even dropped a whole nother video game this year called 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, which is a super underappreciated, way more polished game than Bulletproof.
The name Blood on the Sand is, according to 50, also a little nod to his Fat Joe diss mixtape titled Elephant in the Sand, with some Fat Joe diss tracks even making it into the game.
In 2010, 50 was kinda just laying low in terms of music, but he did end up doing a feature that landed him a number 4 spot on Billboard. I'm not gonna lie, this song came out of nowhere and was a smash with Down on Me by Jeremiah. Lloyd Banks though would drop his 3rd album this year, Hunger for More 2, with the smash hits Beamer, Benz or Bentley and Start It Up.
You can get the whole damn crew. Get in my Beamer, Benz or Bentley. Start it up, start it up, start it up.
And 50 was on the album as well, on the track Payback, P's and Q's. There was also another song 50 would be featured on that wouldn't really take off, but it got over 3 million views on YouTube. Let's Get It In by Lloyd. And oh yeah, how could I forget this underrated banger with Soulja Boy called Mean Mug.
When I'm tripping, I'm twisted, I slap my clip in.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't working on other things though. 50 always has his hands on many different avenues. He starred in a movie called Gun. To be honest man, 50's been in so many movies, it's kinda crazy. The one that I personally remember the most was when he slimmed down from 214 pounds to 160 in a matter of just 9 weeks after liquid dieting and running on the treadmill 3 hours a day. I actually never seen the movie to be honest, but I remember this being on the news and all that. Some people were worried about his health for real, and that was in 2011 when 50 started getting back into music a bit. But 50 said in an interview that his next album was gonna be a Euro dance album inspired by European nightclubs called Black Magic. He later said he had changed his next album to The Return of the Heartless Monster after writing different material when he returned home from the Invitation Tour. He recorded 20 songs to a whole different album concept, wanting his new album to have the aggression of Get Rich or Die Trying. 50 tweeted that the album was 80% done and fans could expect it in the summer of 2011, but that never happened. But he did drop a song called Outlaw for his next album on June 16, 2011.
If niggas so hot, why they ain't got what I got?
His next album was gonna be called Street King Immortal now, initially scheduled for a summer 2012 release. Towards the end of 2011, 50 would drop the Big 10 mixtape exclusively to thisis50.com.
Bitch, I got my second win. You could pretend I ain't the shit. I'm guilty, I'm guilty. Yeah, I'm filthy fucking rich. We on that gritty shitty city shit in New York, New York. You come through on some pretty shit that outlined the joke. Look, nigga, if you don't love yourself, ain't nobody gonna love you. Your shit ain't right. What bitch in the right mind gonna fuck you?
He also dropped what was supposed to be his next single called Girls Go Wild with Jeremiah, but I'm not gonna lie, fam, it's pretty trash.
I'm the man. I love bubbly. Shout it, touch your hands all over me.
A music video was supposed to be released too, but it never happened. Good. 50 was also featured on Chief Keef's banger Hate Being Sober, where Chief Keef would infamously miss his video shoot.
I make it look easy. Damn, I hate being sober. I'm a smoker.
He's like the only rapper who could get away with that shit, bruh. Bye. Oh, and the beef he had with Mayweather, where do I even begin with that one? I mean, this dude 50's a complete troll, bruh. I'ma let my boy from Pearl Fountain let you guys know about this whole back and forth.
This looked like a friendship that was gonna last a lifetime. What the hell happened between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather?
To fully understand the origins of this legendary beef, we need to go back to 2007. Their relationship began on a high note, with 50 Cent even walking Mayweather out to the ring before his fight against Oscar De La Hoya in May of that year. They seemed like the perfect power duo. 50 had taken the hip-hop world by storm with his gritty lyrics and aggressive demeanor, while Mayweather had dominated boxing with his unbeatable record. But things took a turn in 2012 when Mayweather was released from prison after serving a 2-month sentence for domestic battery.
As he was actually going into jail, he asked me to help him with Mayweather Promotions.
Right.
I took a look. I realized there is no Mayweather Promotions. There's no LLC. There's no. It's just a
name.
Yeah,
that comes out people's mouth.
When he says help him with Mayweather Promotions and it's not there, I go, okay, I know what he means. He wants me to
get it together.
Put it together for him. So I do TMT Promotions. I get it all the way together. When he comes home, there's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying a new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money? When he finally does bring up the actual the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell you how to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face and he tell me to do that.
This marked the beginning of their very public feud.
Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what'd he say fuck me for? Nelly fucked your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fucking fiance. Say fuck that nigga. This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to.
It seemed like no topic was off limits for these former friends. 50 even went as far as to challenge Mayweather to a boxing match, with the winner taking home $5 million. Mayweather never officially accepted the challenge, but that didn't stop the two from continuing their beef.
People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane, I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fucking with me.
Floyd, I know you ain't tripping on me over no bitch. Nigga, they playing this shit. I was at the game yesterday, Drake was in there. I'm telling you, these light-skinned niggas trying to take over every motherfucking thing. So tell me what you want to do. You want to kill a nigga or you want to kill a bitch, man? I know. You want the bitch back. How much you spent on it? $5 million. No. I'm your brother. I'm going to tell you like it is, chap. Your uppercut ain't going to mean shit when niggas start shooting.
Throughout the years, both 50 and Mayweather have continued to excel in their respective fields. Mayweather has maintained his status as one of the greatest boxers of all time, while 50 continued to expand his empire to include television production and various business ventures. Despite their ongoing feud, the one thing they've always had in common is their undeniable drive for success.
I see you block. Yeah, I see you block. That's a training camp gift to my friend.
Big shout out to Aaron for the feature in this legendary video. And subscribe to my channel, Pearl Fountain, for more music commentary and analysis.
My boy, I appreciate your input, man, for real. Y'all go check out his channel. I'll put the link in the description. Now, back to 2012, when 50 would drop the next lead single to his Street King Immortal album called New Day with Dr. Dre and Alicia Keys. It didn't really go anywhere, although it does have over 2 million views on YouTube. Oddly enough though, Alicia Keys would release her own version of the song in early 2013, which would end up being a solid hit for her with over 12 million views on YouTube. 50 would release a mixtape in May of 2012 called The Lost Tape with DJ Drama as promotion for his Street King Immortal album.
Niggas be frontin', word up, they stuntin' till they heard up. That semi talk, I let that buck, I had these niggas running hard up. These niggas ain't supposed to be eating, yo. They sweet and low, I have them like shit was all good. Just a week ago. Let these fake niggas get you in the mood for love. I'm back to get you in the mood for the snub and gloves. Scar you, stick you, rip you, extend you, clip you, graze you, blaze you. Hard to miss with the laser. You talk shit, I spit the razor.
50 would continue to have issues with Interscope about promotion and its release date, which is why the album just kept getting delayed. He would release a bunch of music videos for the album heavily promoting his new SMS audio line too.
We gon' do it how we do it, then do the shit again. My life makes you wanna run away. There's no place to go.
I ain't back on that bullshit. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about these hoes, I'm focused on the money.
Murder one become manslaughter, stress they brought up. Charity work, parking tickets and no charges.
I'm an apex predator, nigga, I'm strong. Shooters on deck, I break bread and they own you. Find out what the white Rolls Royce about. Why the white airs on extra clean like James Brown, a nigga do it like a sex machine.
But guess what? The album was never released. That was until 2014 when the ball would really get to rolling for a different name of his new album, Animal Ambition. He actually wanted this album to release before his Street King Immortal album. Bruh, I guess he was really fixated on that Street King album. What would happen though is that in early 2014, 50 Cent would leave Shady Records, Aftermath Entertainment, and Interscope Records after a 12-year union and subsequently signed himself and G-Unit Records to Caroline, an independent distributor of Capitol Music Group. For his Animal Ambition album, all 11 tracks on the standard edition were issued as singles prior to the album's release.
Don't worry about that bike I ride, don't worry about them diamonds in that bezel on my watch. Different day, different ass, different tits, strap under my pillow, I don't want legit. Better back up off me, bitch, watch me ball, ball. Better back up off me, bitch, watch me ball.
And outside of it, all they smell is smoke, all they smell is smoke, girl, they smell is smoke.
The album was met with mostly mixed reviews, debuting at number 4 on the Billboard, selling 46,000 copies first week. One thing that would hype your boy up personally was when the unit got back together this year, but with Kid this time, which to be honest never really felt right. He just didn't fit. But anyways, this reunion went crazy.
I'm that nigga, I'm the plug. I'm the nigga, I just came up on 50 pounds of bug. I'm so for real, I'm on some real nigga shit. You playing, boy, I get you hit real quick.
They talk,
Fuck it, they talked about G.
still hate.
Yeah, they hated on G.
The real.
That's ordinary, this excellence when I fuck up a correct shit like security. Shorty my type tonight, you know I'm kinda picky. She saying I love New York, I'm saying welcome to my city. I've been grinding my whole life, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, doing the research for this video, I had no idea this was a thing. So listen to this. The G-Unit song, Know I'm Talking About, and that song was pretty successful that summer, was originally a Hit Boy record, and 50 took it and ran with it.
I've been grinding my whole life, nigga. Know I'm talking about.
Here's Hit Boy talking about that.
Instead of just like taking a nigga style, like 50 should have just been like, Hit Boy, fucking make an album for us or come work with us. But it's like, I feel like people think too small, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas like, oh, I see they having a wave, they got a hard beat, they got a hard melody idea, vocal idea, let me just take that and try to wave up on niggas versus being a real one and being like, I'm gonna hit this nigga and go make some hard ass shit.
That's what I was gonna ask you, like, did you have any sort of, because that song was so, I know that was a very important song for your label and for your crew.
For my life.
For your life. All of that. Video was crazy.
That's crazy. I did not know about that. I thought that was an original G-Unit song. But yeah, them doing shows again was fire to see. Summer Jam was a huge success. That was the first time they performed together in 10 years. An altercation would go down on stage too while 50 was performing, where Slow Bucks would get his chain snatched, and 50 just smiling the whole time is the most 50 Cent thing ever.
See, whenever I'm on the stage, I run this shit, Ebro. You run this shit a little bit after.
You need to talk to these niggas, man.
I love this shit.
As soon as they pull the dumb shit, and Slow got to get it. Slow got his jaw broke, chain took. You'd be really looking at him funny if you realize the chain is silver. They done spray painted it. Nigga that took the shit was so mad he wanted to hurt him for that. He said, look, nigga was like, man, I should go get this nigga for having his fake shit on his neck. I'm like, nah, leave him alone. Let them make another move before something happens. And you can tell a nigga pussy. The niggas went running around, fucking with the little niggas, the snows, the young niggas from my hood. Those peewees, those niggas babies that I grew up with.
G-Unit would go on to drop 2 EPs during this whole reunion. The Beauty of Independence.
Barry Thump, Barry's in the bin again. I'm back at the drawing board. Somebody call Eminem. If your niggas need straps, then get at me, I'm the plug. What if you need that, then get at me, I'm the plug.
I got watching me. Look how I'm moving.
And the Beast is G-Unit.
No deals, I ain't giving no bargains.
My Glock 9, give you 16 ways to die.
Choose one.
Give it. I own lots of shit, proper shit. I bought the cover for the dealership, got the shit.
Fuck you know about busting down a brick. Your main hoe always think that you around a bitch.
In May of 2015, 50 said in an interview that his first single for his next album, Street King Immortal, damn bro, he really wanted to drop that tape, huh? would be released in June. That song would end up being Get Low with 2 Chainz, T.I., and Jeremiah.
I said, baby girl, get money. Come on. Drop it down, get low.
But guess what happened to that album though? It never dropped. In the summer of 2015, he dropped a Lucy single called 9 Shots, a pretty underrated track.
I was innocent then, I ain't do no wrong. She said, you mommy, little man. I said, yep,
In the end of this year though, he would drop a mixtape called The Cannon Tape.
Y'all trying to fuck me over. Y'all trying to fuck me over. Okay, the dope adding up, the coke adding up, the smoke adding up. I got a clip for a nigga trying to stun on me.
And in early 2016, he dropped 2 music videos as the lead singles for his yet-to-be-released 12th mixtape, Cannon Reloaded.
Niggas get to playing with the money, click bang for the money, shit change over money. Quit cap saving, serenading them hoes.
But it never released. In the summer of 2016, G-Unit would drop another mixtape called The Lost Flash Drive, presented by DJ Who Kid. Who Kid had this to say about the project. Me and Tony Yayo stumbled across a hard drive at the G-Unit offices recently that contained lost music and lost footage from the G-Unit radio series. Getting 50, Banks, Buck, and Kid Kid on board to release these classics to the world is just something for the fans to embrace.
50 bottles, 40 bitches, just 10 of us. I love my niggas, who the fuck can a nigga trust?
Hammers off my block affiliate, my fascination grew to snatch a paper crew, bash your faces too.
Take team, work the ball, man, somebody set the pick. I come around shooting like Swish, quote this.
In 2017, the last thing to be released from 50 would be the last project under Interscope, and that would be the Best of 50 album. It's a compilation of some of his greatest hits. To be honest, they missed some songs that should have been on here, not gonna lie. In 2018, he would be on a song with Casanova and 6ix9ine.
I do not gang bang, but play me like I'm pussy, I will pull up and bang bang.
And speaking of 6ix9ine, him and 50 would be cool for a little while, with 50 saying he's like his son. But after the whole snitching thing, 50 would go on to say in an interview,
culturally, they going gang gang gang. When I get on the record with them, I go, I am not gang gang. I do not gang bang. Immediately. Because I don't like RICO. I don't like conspiracy. Right. Give me a homicide right now. I'll take a homicide right now before you give me that. Because, look, John Yayo walk out the courtroom successful 3 times until they start calling him Teflon Don, homicides. And then they come with that RICO, and then you 23-1 Marion.
Yeah, it's done. 6ix9ine will clap back on Instagram saying, won't be the first time 50 abandons his son. Let me just mind my business. Stupid! And this was after 50 said that if his son was to get hit by a bus, he wouldn't have a bad day. And that whole get the strap hashtag that he was using on all of his posts really caught on too on social media. It all really came from when one of the writers of Power wrote it for 50's character.
Oh, so you got the epidemic going on. Get the strap. Yeah. It's catching on everywhere kids saying.
Yeah, but they didn't realize that that's actually a line written by Courtney.
Get out of here.
Yeah. For Rollin' Loud New York 2019, during A$AP Rocky's set, to this day I regret not going to his set and going to Uzi's instead. From what I've heard and what I've seen, Rocky's set was legendary as hell. Uzi's set was aight, nothing memorable really, but yeah.
What up, blood? What up, blood? What up, blood? What up, blood?
In terms of any new projects from 50, that's pretty much it in terms of music. Cause at this point 50 was really focusing on being a businessman, which he always was, let's be real, but he was really focused on creating superstar actors with his show Power. And speaking of Power, I gotta let my boy Dan Six tell you all about how this came about. Take it away, Chief.
In 2012, 50 Cent would take his art and empire to television. This is where he'd come up with the idea for the show Power. Pretty much, the series revolves around the story of James Ghost St. Patrick, played by Omari Hardwick, a New York City nightclub owner who leads a double life as a drug kingpin. Throughout the series, Ghost tries to balance his criminal life with his legitimate business and his family life. But 50 also saw something more. He noticed that television does music terribly. It's the last thing they spend on the budget, so shows often lack that emotional connection to its fullest capabilities, just because the music wasn't really done right. 50 Cent wanted to flip the script. Through having built his career and empire off music, he understood music. More importantly, he was aware of the emotional connection individuals have with music. Due to his experience, he's able to manipulate music and elicit strong emotional responses from the viewer. So basically, 50 Cent wanted to ensure that hip-hop and R&B was a key aspect when creating Power. 50 also wanted to replicate Marvel. He wanted to replicate Marvel in the way that, you know how characters are so compelling and that the audience has such a strong connection that characters can stand alone without the show. So he basically wanted to create multiple spin-offs of Power, focusing on different characters and all that. It would essentially be like a whole universe where each important character has their own empire, similar to Marvel. So once 50 had the ideas set and fleshed out, it was time for him to pitch his show, but something would go wrong. As 50 would begin to pitch Power to like different networks, he realized that they weren't really respecting him. They weren't giving him much consideration at all. But this was due to his lack of experience in television. Networks are legitimate corporations. They can't take a chance on 50 just because of the success he had in movies and music. You know what I mean? 50 smart. 50 would realize this and understand if he was going to get this show Power picked up, he was going to need to be as humble as possible. So he would just begin pitching his idea to networks as humbly as he possibly could. One network would begin to take notice. Stars would really like the idea. They thought the idea was great and the element of character and a music focus was genius. But there was an issue. It was 50's experience again. They couldn't offer him millions. It was just too much of a risk. So instead, they would offer 50 Cent $17,000 an episode for the first season. That is not a lot of money. Honestly, this is pretty much nothing for television. 50 probably could have done like 2 club appearances and made more money than that. But he was determined and believed in his vision, so he made it work. He would put such a large emphasis on casting because he wanted to make sure the cast would be the right fit. He would spend time like with the cast and just make sure they built chemistry and had as much opportunity as possible. Because, you know, when actors are happy, everyone's just having fun, so it reflects on the screen. And 50 Cent would spend day and night in the writer's room developing Power. It was clear he was losing an unheard amount of money at the time making this cheap little show, but he knew it was gonna work out. So how did the show turn out? When the first season aired, it would become a massive hit. It was so big and critically acclaimed, it would become Star's highest rated show by a massive margin. The show Power blew up in popularity. Eventually, it was time for 50 Cent to renegotiate a deal for Power. The show was such a hit that he was able to receive a $150 million deal. The show would continue to drive the Starz Network's success and go on for 6 seasons, with the series finale boasting 1.5 million viewers. The show was monumental for 50 Cent's career. He would then get his wish. 50 Cent was able to achieve multiple spin-offs of Power, based on the popularity and connection the viewers had with the characters. The spin-offs for Power would include Powerbook 2, Powerbook 3, Powerbook 4, these each following a different character story. All in all, 50 Cent would take an enormous bet on himself to create Power, with a chance of like losing millions. But through his effort and trust in his vision, it paid off and turned into one of the biggest shows on television.
Hey, good looking, my boy. Y'all go show him some love. Link to his channel in the description. Something that 50 would really have his hands on in terms of music was Pop Smoke's posthumous album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, completely executively produced by 50. In fact, I remember during the pandemic when this album was about to come out, 50 hosted this graphic design contest on Instagram for people to create the cover for the album, because Virgil Abloh's original album cover was straight diarrhea. RIP Virgil though. And I actually participated in it, telling everyone to tag 50. I got a decent amount of comments too, but it's all good. Glad I got to participate. 50 did an amazing job with curating this track list because it felt complete. It didn't feel rushed or forced, with some big hit songs on it too, with 50 being on one of them.
You can fuck around if you want, out in Bali. Big swing, big dress.
50 really looked at Pop Smoke as like another version of him and was really starting to like him, until of course his unfortunate and sudden passing. Rest in peace to Pop Smoke, man.
Let's get niggas trying to. That was Jadakiss Beef.
Many, wish that for me. Yeah, I don't cry no more. What? I don't look to the sky no more. What? Cause I got it on me. Have mercy on me, man. Many, wish that for me. Yeah, I don't cry no more. I don't look to the sky no more. Cause I got it on me.
You could see it in 50's face too, how much he really rocked with Pop Smoke, man. Here's a clip of 50 talking about his love for Pop.
Where you going next? You see Pop Smoke, that was one of my favorites, man. I like that nigga, man. I swear to God, I really like that nigga, man. I met him, we was talking, and I was like, yo, I'm watching him, right? This nigga keep playing with his phone. Like, you know, these little niggas play with their phone all the time, bro. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga, right? I'm going, what the fuck he keep playing with his phone for, right? I'm in a meeting. I swear to God, it's really what happened, man. The nigga Pop Smoke come to see me. He go, yo, they sitting in there, him and his man, right? He go, yo, look. He on the phone. He like, yo, what you say? He go, he looking at his phone. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this little nigga, right? I'm like, yo, hold up. I get up, because I'm trying to see what the fuck is he doing, right, with his phone. Like, he keep looking at his phone. I swear to God, the nigga was writing what I said down. He was writing it down. I looked, I said, oh shit. See, it's a difference between nigga copying you. That's not copying. That's not copying. He never copied one thing from me. He just looked at it. He saw what was good in it. It influenced him, and he was doing his own thing with it. I love this shit. Man, I fell in love with the nigga at that point. I fell in love with that nigga. I was like, yo, it's like, what's the matter? Yo, I like this nigga, man. I didn't know what the fuck. I was like, what else? I didn't even know how. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, he was sitting there, he was writing. He was writing down what I was saying. And I'm like, I'm thinking, this nigga's not paying attention. And he was like, nah, this nigga, whatever 50's saying, I gotta pay attention to this.
He also dropped a super underrated track for Power this year with NLE Choppa called Part of the Game.
It's all a part of the game. If I ain't the co-main or the dope main, I'm almost for sure, man.
Man, the world could use more smooth 50 tracks like this, I swear. In May of 2021, 50 moved to Houston. This was thought to be for lower taxes, no income tax, as well as other ventures such as writing new screenplays. And while living in Houston, 50 was in the process of writing screenplays for new crime shows. In July of that year, 50 had an interview where he officially decided to shelve his Street King Immortal album, bruh. After a decade of developmental hell. Wow, he actually gave up on it. That's crazy. And in the fall of that year was when he would executively produce the new show, BMF, Black Mafia Family. Another dope moment for me especially was when he headlined Rollin' Loud New York. Yo, you know I was in there going crazy.
You gon' want some more. My tongue touch your girl, your tongue back. This is Booster's dick, I'll share with the world.
He brought out DaBaby, A Boogie, and A$AP Rocky. Bro, when Rocky came out, that shit felt like an earthquake. And in February of 2022, a legendary moment would happen. 50 was a surprise guest at the Super Bowl, where he was alongside Dr. Dre, Eminem, Kendrick, Snoop, and Mary J. Blige. The Game was actually pretty salty about this. He really felt some type of way since it was in LA, and the West Coast is really what he's all about. Here's a clip of him talking about it.
So it's like Snoop is an icon, Dre is an icon, M is an icon, but M is not from LA. 50 is not from LA, and I'm not taking away from the fact that they were on the Super Bowl, but LA have been on a Detroit Super Bowl or a New York Super Bowl. It just wouldn't have happened. The Rams was in the Super Bowl, bro. LA, all around the Super Bowl, and I don't get the call. So
how'd you feel?
I was hurt by that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was hurt
Thank
by
you,
that.
gang.
And yo, and let me tell you. Snoop didn't do me like that. Kendrick, it's not his Super Bowl. It's not Snoop's Super Bowl. I talked to Snoop about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Snoop was like, you know, cuz, if it was my Super Bowl, cuz, we'd have been in that. You know, and that's my uncle, and I love him to death. I feel like Dre should have called and said why. I would understand that because I talk to Dre. I talk to Dre often, and I just felt like I just know if I was Dre and he was game, he would have been up there. That's just it. It's LA, and I am LA. Like I am LA. I'm in the streets.
Right.
And that's it.
It was around this time of the interview too where he would drop his album Drillmatic, which had like 31 songs on it. But yeah, side note, he even dissed Eminem on it. Like, come on, bro. I actually love Game's music, and I think he's pretty underrated, but the shit he be saying and his antics makes it hard for me to defend that guy. Especially when he said Ye did more for him in 2 weeks than what Dre did for his whole career. Like, come on, bro. How you sound? You sound mad ungrateful. Like, come on, bro. This comment by Diverse Mentality pretty much sums up the whole Game Super Bowl thing perfectly. And now in 2023 makes 20 years since Get Rich or Die Trying was released. Crazy how time flies, bro. I really remember like it was yesterday when that shit dropped, when I was in like 3rd grade. And he recently just announced his final lap tour, which you already know I got tickets for to be on the floor at the Barclays. Also, make sure you're subscribed to catch that vlog the next day of that show. I ain't gonna lie, I might have to pull up in my G-Unit shirt, fuck around and wear some baggy ass jeans. What else? Maybe some Timbs, maybe even the Air Forces, maybe even some G-Unit shoes. Who knows? With the silky and the fitted? Come on, bro, stop playing. Shit, throw that G-Unit chain on me too? Stop it, let's get it, stop it. We in there for real. Haters gonna say it's Photoshop, but you know, haters gonna hate. It is what it is. He even just recently bought like 1 million square feet property. 50 definitely has some plans moving forward, bro. And he said in the video,
would you look at here? 985,000 square feet. Can you say Studios?
but yeah, man, 50 Cent, one of the greatest and most impactful artists to ever break through in the music industry. He's literally the reason why this channel exists in the first place. The one who got me into this love for the genre. From having a shit ton of beefs in the rap game, to having his name cemented in the Hollywood Hall of Fame too, to go from hustling and selling crack on the streets of Southside Jamaica, Queens, to becoming a multi-millionaire and being ranked as the 17th best rapper of all time by Billboard this year. Now that's extremely motivational. And when it comes to the mixtape game, just the G-Unit mixtapes alone, there's like 1 million of them. Shit's crazy. And if you stuck around to watch this whole video in one sitting, you're a real one, fam. If it took you days, you still a real one. I definitely appreciate that. I had to give that boy his flowers while he's still here. The man, the legend, the GOAT! Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent.
Many men, me 745. You drive me crazy, fun me, Lord. I don't cry no.